And welcome back to Let's Play Tyranny. As I promised last time, we are now continuing our way into Act 2. Last time we reached the burning library, the former Vellum library, which we burned by the Edict of Fire from the Overlord during the years of conquest. Some of you might remember this from an earlier
I got it.
video. But for now, the place is burning. Burning because it consists of knowledge that needs to be destroyed. Ooh. These are Koros powers. And... oh no, this isn't interesting. What does he have? Freight Purple Club, Iron Walker Cape. Disfavored. Let's see. This shelf is well separated from the surrounding area and looks quite perilous to move. Rocky protrusions can be seen along the top, likely magical in nature. Ooh, can you see all the lava burning? A twisted man leans over two forms on the ground, one a robed figure covered in bruises, the other a soldier, horribly burned, lying motionless to his side. The blood-stained man flashes a captive smile. I would welcome you properly, Fatebinder, but my hands are full. As if it reminds him, he looks down and absent-mindedly licks a drop of blood from his finger. If you are here on business, you should speak with our leader, the censor. Her tent is to the east, near the main entrance to the library. The robed figure moans, and the man kicks him. Our troops are making great progress in the ruins below, and could benefit from your assistance. He glances at the bodies. I don't know. No. I know how this must look, but it's all in compliance with Tunon's law. He shrugs and turns away. If you don't mind, I'm eager to resume my work.
Sorry, I can't.
Quite dangerous if you ask me. More stuff to plunder. Disfavored corpses is never a good sign if you
Sorry,
ask me.
I can't.
But then again, neither are the Scarlet Chorus camps, which are placed surrounded by burning trees and lava streams. You know, if you ever wondered whether you decided for the right or wrong faction, just think about this. They're too stupid to recognize when there's a danger of fire. The corpses of sages are skewered on these spikes. Their skin has been blackened by the heat of a magma flowing from the fissures below. Great.
Huh. Have a look here.
Where? I don't see... oh, there. The dead one. Wonder what I'll find on him or her. Did you see here? Well, up we go. I want this. Get me this. What is it? What you have found? Go out. Take. Sigil of Reaching Grasp. Interesting. Don't I already have this? Incomplete charcoal rubbing. Yes, we already determined the... oh. I'm not sure if I really isn't... oh, Sigil of Reaching Grasp level 2. We can now further increase the range of our spells. The Fatebinder! Your bloodletting is legendary! The censor would be honored to receive you. I'm sure she would be. Makes it all the more strange that she is currently missing, wasn't it?
Got it!
Fine now. Boltok. First, we need to plunder this stuff.
That wasn't so hard.
It's never hard. Who doesn't want some beer? Greetings, Fatebinder. Come to have a look at my wares? Ah, why the hell not? I mean, what do I have to lose? One-handed spike. Not a throwing weapon. Noggin protector. Well, yeah. Bloodhound Hood. Interesting. Just as well as his prizes are. Still all too expensive.
Can't do that.
I don't want to sell right now. Let's collect something first. We don't know when we might need some of these items. Oh, they have a sensors. But first, a deeper look around the camp. Who knows what else we can find? Ooh, magic portal. This passageway has been blocked by a magical field. It isn't clear how one might remove it. Yo, sensor, talk to me. Ah, if it isn't the Fatebinder of Tunon. What an unexpected surprise. I am the sensor and welcome to my camp. It's good to see a familiar face. The woman's voice carries a genial tone that doesn't quite carry all the way through her words. Sadly, I must say I can't entertain you properly at the moment. You've come at a very busy time for me. We're making a bold push to explore the library's depths. However, before we finish our pleasantries, you could satisfy my curiosity. Why are you here? With her question, her voice goes flat and takes on an accusatory tone. I don't appreciate being questioned, Censor. I am Tunon's Fatebinder. I need no excuses or invitations. The censor stands quietly, unmoving. After a few moments, her body relaxes and the friendly tone returns to her words. Of course, Fatebinder. My apologies. Would seem my proclivity for bluntness got the better of me. Again, welcome. She bows stiffly. What brings you to my camp? Nerat tasked me with retrieving the knowledge from the ruins here. Ah, you must mean the Silent Archive. I had hoped to have retrieved it already to avoid just such a problem. Unfortunately, we haven't finished our search yet. If your goal is to find it, you should know that it's not as easy as just walking in there and taking it. Ha! It'll be for me. Don't know why you failed so far. It seems that the tricky sages were afraid someone might want to take their precious archive and hid it behind the barrier. Arcane, impenetrable. Really a shame how many men we lost to rebounding spells. She waves her hands dismissively. So my men are looking for the passcode to get beyond it. We don't know how many parts there are, just that they're somewhere inside the library. Not even those scholars have been able to find the pieces for us. Not yet, anyway. She motions to a nearby sage, who stands with his head bowed in shame. So I gave everyone some incentive and made a game out of it. You're welcome to enter the library, provided you agree to play by the rules of the competition. She titters with excitement. If you want to find the Silent Archive, you must take part in my game too. You have sages working with you? How did you manage that? The chorus can be most persuasive at times, and you know how we like to employ unconventional incentives. Her thin-lipped smile broadens. Which is interesting to note that I can see that, because her mask conveys this despite the fact that I can see her face beyond the mask. What is the Silent Archive? The archive is the sage's most guarded treasure, held in a grand chamber thought to contain more knowledge than all the tiers combined. While she is speaking to you, one of the horde approaches her with a parchment held out before him. She takes it from him, her head never turning to look away from you. There's a brief flare of bluish light from her hands, and she hands the parchment back to the horde. Stop bringing me words I've already taken, or I will have your head. She speaks slowly, still looking at you, but with every word the horde pulls back as if he's about to be struck. Put them in a separate pile so you know I've had them, or ask someone to read them to you. If I have to take in the same inane missive one more time, you will regret it. The horde backs away, murmuring apologies profusely as he does. She addresses you again. I'm sorry you had to witness that. Now, where was I? Oh yes, the Silent Archive. Our scouts have reason to believe it survived. Some magic keeps the library from being swallowed by fire, so perhaps it, too, protects the silent archive. We've come to destroy the archive in Kairos' name. Tell me what you know about the Edict of Fire Kairos proclaimed. I believe the silent archive at the heart of the Vellum Citadel was never destroyed. She says this almost conspiratorially. If that's true, would explain why the edict is ongoing. She points towards the entrance in the mountain wall. If someone were to get down there and remove the silent archive from the library, I'm willing to wager it could be used to fulfill Kairos' will. You're going to destroy the silent archive? An artifact with more knowledge than all the tiers combined? Of course, Fatebinder. It is forbidden knowledge, after all. And it's not like Nerat doesn't have a plan. She stops herself and stands straight. Never fear. We will deal with the silent archive appropriately. What happened with that missive? What was that flash of light? I don't see how that's pertinent. But if you must know, you're not the only one with unique talents in the tiers, Fatebinder. Not everyone needs to use their eyes to read. Sending me to a library seemed obvious. She giggles. What a perfect way to collect knowledge. Nerat has taken a particular interest in me and my talents, and is working with me to refine them. Did you just imply to a Fatebinder that you intend to retain all the knowledge of the silent archive? The censor shakes her head vigorously. Certainly not! I have no idea how you got that idea, so put it out of your head. Nerat knows Kairos' laws, and would never do anything openly break them. Tell me about this game of yours, then. I do wish to enter the library. Several Scarlet Chorus teams were dispatched down into the ruins of the library, each with some sages to serve as guides. The team who completes the passcode gets through the barrier, gains access to the silent archive, and will face glory and reward. The others? She draws a finger across her throat. Only one is allowed to succeed. If you wish to join the merry hunt, you will be yet another team racing against the others, though you won't be getting any sages, of course. I agree to the rules of the competition. Excellent! Normally, I would ask you to prove your honesty and loyalty to the chorus, but your actions elsewhere have already shown that. You are free to enter. But I would still ask a favor of you. My assistant, Foul Murmur, has something he needs done. If you would be so kind, he is somewhere nearby. I believe he was recently occupied talking to one of the prisoners. Oh, and I would watch yourself inside, Fatebinder. While I personally wouldn't have given the sages any warning, they were still unable to prepare completely for the destruction. She titters happily. There are a few areas that were completely covered in lava before they stopped the building's collapse. It's a shame we had to lose all those precious treasures, but every war has its casualties, doesn't it? She laughs again and waves you away. Do you think me a fool, woman? We both know your purpose here. Yo, Mama, what's your problem? The Fatebinder returns. He gives a mock bow. He holds out red-stained hands, and then thinks better of it and retracts the offer. So, what can I help you with, Fatebinder? Who are you? What happened with the dead Earthshaker? Oh, him! He motions of a burnt figure at his feet, his tone one of amusement. The spell-slinging mage thought he could slip past us. He nudges the corpse with his boot. And for that, to commune with rocks? I grant you that Kairos' edict shaped the local landscape in strange ways, but there was no excuse to try and sneak past our camp. What will become of the sage then? Let's put it this way. The burning library isn't the most traditional site for a chorus encampment, and the best training available to us is live targets, and so be it. While he lives, the captive might surrender some useful information about the sages in the region we have yet to subdue. I tire of your presence. The censor says you have a task for me. That I do. Though we've captured and subdued most of the surviving sages, those that escaped the library are rallying behind their de facto leader, Renata. The censor wants her killed to make sure that any remaining sages don't get ideas about taking this region back. The trick is finding her. As luck may have it, one of our patrols picked up this one. He gives a swift kick to the robed figure beneath him. One of Renata's own. Perhaps you should speak with him. He's been a rather poor conversationalist so far. He stares at you for a moment. Be careful though, Fatebinder. He doesn't have much left in him. If you're going to try to get some information from him, be sure you ask the right questions. As for me, I could use a break. Interrogation is thirsty work. You're mainly one-sided conversations. You can find me in the camp if you need anything. And he runs off. Mine now. The sage has clearly suffered at the hands of his captors. Burn marks cover his legs and his shoulders slump unnaturally. Do what you will, Fatebinder. It matters not if I die, so long as my school's work lives on. I am not your enemy. Your actions speak louder than your words, Fatebinder. Empty promises mean nothing. He slowly moves his head to meet your gaze, but says nothing. He seems to be waiting for you. What do the sages want with a burning library? The sage narrows his eyes at you. His mouth presses into a hard line. He shakes his head. The bloodhound next to you laughs. That's not how you get information. You need to use your fists. How can I find Renata? He narrows his eyes and shakes his head. Someone is a slow learner, isn't he? He mimes a punch. Oh well, I won't hit him. I'll leave. I will find the information I need without him. I'll prove him the folly of his ways. Very well then, into the inferno. To the depths of hell we go. Really? A magical barrier. This passageway has been blocked by a magical field. It isn't clear how one might remove it. This is what happens when masters of warding magics compare notes for centuries. Regular doors and borrowing locks fall out of fashion. I was hoping the Edict of Fire had done us a favor and burned away all these barriers, but it seems we're not so lucky. There's a sequence to lower the barriers, but as custom and paranoia dictate, the sages use different sequences every day, and I'm guessing whoever set this one is long gone, likely dead. We'll need to look for something that might help. I've never encountered a barrier that didn't respond to fire or a hard bludgeoning, but I'll take your word for it. You ask me, the barrier needs a specific line of codes and signs, basically magical insignia. Let's take a look. An arrow downwards. just have to see. Nope. Barrier is not recognizing it, so we'll need to find the button, basically. Too bad. Oh. Ooh. A Chalcedony. Holy. Pyrrhus' edict has transformed this floor into a molten lake of fire. At the sages, more time to prepare. Thank you. Landry stops suddenly and looks around, his eyes wide. I almost didn't recognize it. He points southeast down the hall. This is where we made parchment. There used to be dozens of hides stretched out in enormous drying racks. Filthy piles of goat hair. That's a rendering fed. Quite a busy workshop we'd going. It also happened to smell like diseased pigs defecating on burning goats. That I don't miss. Huh. Don't miss a lot of things, it seems. Oh, look. A sage. As you approach the bodies at the end of a hall, the sage makes a low squeal of fear and falls over, feigning death. Sage's Guild. Wow, I'm convinced. Both of these bodies are totally dead. The sage sighs and looks up to you. I wasn't sure that would work. Well, I was absolutely sure it wouldn't, but how was I supposed to know you weren't another one of those gangs? They're everywhere. I've been hiding in this area ever since the edict tore this place apart. You can never be too careful. He stops, staring at Lee intently at you. You're a Fatebinder! He coughs, blood flecking his lips. He wipes them clear with the back of his hand. I can't believe there's a Fatebinder in the Vellum Citadel. You're the one that declared the edict here. You know, it's because you warned us about what was to come that we were able to cast a spell to preserve the Citadel before the edict could destroy it. I don't know if anyone got to thank you for that. Kind of backfired on us, though. Didn't stop the edict, it just froze everything in place as it was being destroyed. Preservation is preservation, I suppose. He shrugs, winces, and coughs up more blood. Not that it's doing us any good with all the scarlet chorus in here. Did you see how many of those fucks ran in? When I saw them enter, I knew I couldn't stay in hiding any longer. I had to come in and prevent anyone else from getting in, so I activated the barrier by the door. Fascinating. So then you're just sprouted wounds. I came over here to destroy the piece of the passcode so no one could get through. He points at the shelf behind him. But this one must have followed me. He attacked me and told me he'd kill me if I didn't tell him how to get through. He laughs and winces again. You can see how well that went for him. Please, Fatebinder, you have to protect the Citadel from the Scarlet Chorus. Don't let them destroy it. That piece of the passcode will get you through the first barrier. Find the rest and keep them from those monsters. They can't be allowed to unlock our secrets. That's all I needed to know. He lets out a quiet moan and then falls dead at your feet. Fool. The Lord's edict
A
is
bookshelf. Standard curiosity protocols demand we rummage.
Standard curious. Well, will you look at that? A glowing book. This book contains a number of distinctive symbols and phrases that are repeated multiple times. They are likely significant. Take the book and translate the phrases. How fortuitous, Landry exclaims, looking over your shoulder at the scrap of paper you pulled from the shelf. That truly is a part of a passcode needed to bypass the barrier protecting the silent archive. I haven't been this excited since I learned my first sigils. Truth is, in all my decades at the Vellum Citadel, I've never once set foot anywhere near the archives. He starts fumbling through the shelf, opening books, flipping through pages, and checking them by the spine to loosen any loose scraps of the parchment that might be hidden within them. The scrolls here are blank. Looks like they were stored here along with the implements and ingredients to make ink. Basically, as Landry told us. What did I just collect? Nothing of worth, it seems.
Can't do that.
Oh. Though the amount of heat rushing through these fissures and tents, the lower floor somehow remains intact.
That section up ahead doesn't look as damaged as the rest of the place.
You don't say. But I can't get through there.
Sorry, I can't.
Means we'll have to go through the barrier. Great. Ah.
See? Every once in a great while, things are easier than I expect. Though I doubt any other barriers are going to be this easy to bypass. Keep that phrase. This is a good sign. If they had not secured the silent archive, they wouldn't have bothered to leave passcodes for any returning sages.
I agree with you there, friend. I'm sorry. Slave. I agree with you there. And how exactly do you think you're going to get away? An exasperated voice asks. The sensor's right outside the door, and there's no other fire out of this fucking oven. Now get your worthless ass moving.
Curious.
Ah, damn it. And I just walked into the trap. Now wait till the comet stops and our health regenerates.
Right.
There it goes, there it goes. Get him! We can't let him get any further! Fat Alston. Now that's a name for the ages.
Another demonstration of our powers.
Running won't help you, and it surely as hell won't save you. That's gonna hurt. Oh, so Grave Strike does nothing. Interesting.
Take that!
Come on. Well, can work like that. They're all dead now. Not all of them, of course, but enough. And what do we have here? Ah, some horrid boots. And a scarlet notebook. A red spiral is carved upon the wooden cover of his papyrus notebook. The handwriting within is haphazard and inscrutable, the work of an unpracticed, poorly trained wordcaster. A few entries contain recognizable sentences, and the book appears to be the journal of the Scarlet Chorus commander, detailing troop movements. Times and locations are noted alongside numbers and pictures of trees, stick figures, and rocks. The author either didn't know the words for lumber and people, or just felt more comfortable with pictures than words. While much of the journal is inscrutable, the corner of every page has the day's head count for the author's brigade. While some days note dozens of losses, the brigade appears to be recruiting far faster than its members are dying or deserting. Interesting. Question that remains for me now is, take this or no? I like the mirrored stompers, but less recovery time is always good, rich reflection is good, and a high disengagement defense is also good. So I'd rather take them like this, and take them worse in every regard. No. Let's put them into the general stash for now. Can't get through there. Down here we go then. Anything down here? Nope. Well, we continue on our merry way then. Ooh, what's that? A broken wall. Use ink pool.
Gap-tooth! There's someone out here!
The sigh carries all the way out to you, Then tell them to get their asses in here. Get your asses in here! Gap2 wants to talk to you! Ooh, interesting. What if I don't want to discuss with Gap2? Whomever Gap2 is.
Spotted something.
A trap. Gone now. Who do we have here? Oh, a sage. Arcane Scroll. Study the symbols to expand your spellcasting capabilities. We've learned the Sigil of Strength. Let's climb over the rubbish pole. What do we have here? More scrolls. The sage backs up as you approach, fear in his eyes. No! Please! Don't hurt me! He stops when he sees you and drops his hands relieved. You're not Koro's members? He looks around. But they're nearby, I can hear them. I would leave, but they've blocked the exit, and I can't open the barrier without the right keys. You're free to go, the way is clear. Yet another sage that needs to be removed from the grounds. I can never thank you enough for what you've done. Take this, maybe it will help you. I was unable to finish my research, but maybe you can. He looks around worrily. I will find a way out of here. But he's going to die. Oh, he isn't. Because, for reasons that escape me, he's able to circumvent the idiot.
Interesting.
I hate traps, especially since the game doesn't pause when I find them. Lava streams. Now, towards Gap2 for now. Let's see what Gap2 has to say for for herself. She's a Scarlet Fury, if you ask me. Yo, Gap2. A rough-looking woman stands in the gap made by a broken wall, turning to address you as you approach. So, the Sensor didn't trust 4 groups to get what you wanted and send another one? She shakes her head. More groups. Talk about an excessive use of force. She throws her hand in the air. For Kairos' sake, it's still just a library. It's not gonna get up and walk away. We have time to get the archive. I even know where a piece of a passcode is. Nothing you just said makes any sense. Yet another group, led by one of the tier's most brilliant minds. How this everlasting burn do I always get saddled with the geniuses? Do you honestly not know who I am? Should I care? She folds her arms. I just want to survive long enough to find the archive and get out of here. Death is not high on my list of desirable activities. My current problem is Numbly's group down below. They're guarding one of the passcode pieces, and they can be particularly stab-happy. I don't want to cross their path with a molten pit nearby, so I'm trying to decide what to do. Let's address the sages. I warned you about Kairos' edict so you could escape before being destroyed. Help me kill this gang, and you'll escape again. The sages look with determination to each other, and back to you. Gap2's eyes filled with fury and rage. You worthless ink suckers who burn along with the Fate Binder! Kill them all! See, she knew who I was. I knew I would get it out of her. Not that it's any help for her.
This
Let's jolt the guy.
That's a negative.
See, that's how you do it. Can you please kill her already? Ah, finally. Ah, see, that's how you do it. Oh, no, it does damage. It's only very little. And he's dead, and she's dead. Ooh, double kill. Gap2 is dead. And I gained a fractured iron sword and a bent bronze dagger. Well, you know what I mean. Scarlet Crow with a no. These are unnamed characters. Oh, I could have gone through here as well. Interesting. What's this? Burnt missive. Ooh, I can go down here. Deeper and deeper into the library we go. Fire cannot harm us. The depth cannot kill us. We are sure to be victorious. Let's see. Strange statues, arcane things. A river of lava flows freely around an island made of huge cracked pieces of the floor. Destruction seems widespread. A large man stands with his back to you, gesticulating wildly at the beastmen around him. He points north, up the stairs at a wall of shelves on the rise. Go get it, you mangy freak! It's not going to hurt you. It's a piece of a passcode, I just know it. The beastman he's currently yelling at vehemently shakes his head. No! Shiny, crackly, light-haired beast! Will not touch! No! It was a spell cast by that sage. He points at a body near the stairs. Who is now dead, by the way. So there isn't going to be any more shiny, crackly light here at you. Just go get it. The rest of us needs to stay here and keep anyone else from getting it. Go! The beastman shakes his head again. The man makes a noise of disgust. You're worthless! All of you! How did I get stuck with the monster brigade? Doesn't help you one bit. The man turns to you. His ill-fitting armor straining against his chest. What are you doing here? His face takes on a sour look and he shakes his head. Never mind, I don't care. We're not going to let you pass, no matter your reasons. This contest is in the bag. If anyone is going to get the Silent Archive first, it will be me. And if you think I'm letting you anywhere near that piece of the passcode, think again. Someone already tried to take it from me and failed. There's a conspicuous cough from behind the man, who rolls his eyes and looks over his shoulder. Ass! What a shame, then. Time to die. Didn't really think I would just give this to you.
More talent! The money count!
Come and face my iron!
At once.
Flawless!
Of course. What else did you expect? The Arcane Missile Brigade, it seems. Of a grave light. But yes, I need every bit I can get to allow for us to be done. Dead, you attack this one. Ooh, level up.
Back here.
And get
At once.
dead. Really dead. See, I told you. So pointless. You know, I didn't have to die. It's not my fault that they do. I'm trying to help them, shield them in these moments of grief. But then again, what can I do? Really now, what can I do? see. Bomb plus 20 control life, plus 30 control life. Interesting. Okay, here by second breath. Damage. No, I want to erase the record for now. Yep. Plunder it! Scarlet leather armor, inside swag for defense against spells, and iron brand. Ooh. Something you use to make the uniform brand of a scarlet corps, it seems. Because I always wanted something like that. I didn't, but then again, that's beside the point. A blood chanter staff. Let's see. As good as the one she already has. Blood chanter's spine. Plus 10 control emotions. And fragments of a blood chanter's cloak. Interesting. Oh, I wonder if you find something called a spine. I take that literally, actually. What's this? The plaque is so smudged and scratched that you can't read most of it, but it mentions a new binding technique. And mastering the magic to preserve the scrolls.
Found something.
Beyond the gaping hole in the floor, hundreds of scrolls fill the shelves on the far wall. Ooh. That's interesting. What's this? Mind static torque. An iron band that hums and crackles with potential energy. I know exactly you can wear this.
Will do.
Now let's see. There's the sign. What's this? The first king of Stalwart. This document chronicles the early days of the Regent bloodline in Stalwart. Hidden among the lists of names and titles, you find the story of Queen Portia, who stripped her infant child of any legal claim to the throne to stave off an assassination attempt. The event set a legal precedent that has lasted for centuries. You think someone might find that of interest. Ah. Another piece of a puzzle. But we don't have all yet, and it will only continue upwards once we have found the rest.
What do we have?
What? Ah, I knew
Will
it.
do.
I just knew it. Ah. Waiting for healing. Waiting for healing. Papa, waiting for healing. Waiting for healing. Ooh, and we're good to go. That's a nice feature. I really like that. Research magic sigil. More research material for something I can't use yet. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go for at least normal difficulty. Don't want no. Well, I do really like a walk in the park, truth be told. It's really that much faster, truth be told. Well, no. Who knows? More scrolls.
Stupid edict ruining the whole place. I used to know my way around. Feel so old.
That's because you are old.
Time to lighten my step.
What are these wisps? Alright. Ooh, we could climb up here. I don't want to, but we could, and that's a very important distinction. And there's another piece of a passcode. And a scourge. Remember, they can only be damaged by magic. Now, we do need a magic that is able to kill. Like a fireball. Something that even Barrick can use. I would like something which is basically Mage Frost, but then again. Now he knows his fireball. He has law skill 70. That looks nice. Let's go fireball. high intensity. We're now at law 60. And smaller recovery times. Mage fire is very, very hard actually. What else can we create? How about a ball of frost? High range. What? Are you kidding me? Lower 60 already. With an increased intensity, it already needs lower 90. Lower 80. Or lower 70. Why is this such a high amount of strength already? Emotion, emotion. Taunt affliction. No. Ball fit, prone affliction. Oh, basically it's pushing someone down. There was the spectral blur, yes, I remember. Concussive bolt. Oh, this sounds nice. Max damage. Always max damage. We need to hit them where it hurts. Sigil of rooting. 85. No, that's pointless. Higher range is always useful. But truth be told, a less high cooldowns are also very useful. Now, let's take this away and instead give this to her, and so she has something as well. Now, everyone's equipped with some sort of ability to fight.
I am a shield wall unto myself!
Oh, they can be damaged, you see? I was lied to. Again. And you, on the other hand, you will use your rhyme spike to kill as many of them as you can. As will you with your electric jolt.
As you command.
For me!
You know what this sounds like? Death. Kill the dervish. It seems our weapons are already strong enough to defeat them. Or it's because of the difficulty. I don't know. I really don't. I really wish I would, but there are aspects of the game that are hidden to me. Take the book phrase. There's only one missing. We are almost done with this. How silly. Though I do wonder, where does this one lead? We know where the other leads. But this? Jump across! Haha! Yep! Ooh, scourges abound.
Another battle?
Yes. Come on, what's your problem? It's not like you are any worse for the wear, but put it for her. No, we have this. We already have everything else. Rim spike. And you will use this. You will you already used this, but now you will use this. And you will use this.
Can't do that. Sorry. Can't.
Take that! Oh my, yeah.
Will do.
With a single strike, thus danger was eliminated. What's this? Bane essence. Always a nice thing. This seems kind of known to me. Didn't this item exist in Pillar of Eternity as well? River of Lava? Is there nothing else here? Why are we here then?
Quiet down.
There has to be something. You can't tell me that there's nothing hidden up here. It would be essentially purposeless. And I don't believe that anything can be without purpose. Pointless, even. Ah. We
Will
will
do.
find whatever's hidden down here. Just after I increase the scroll speed. This is making me mad. Now, that's a scroll speed I can work with. Of course, this might be a bit more nauseating for those of you watching. I apologize if that's the problem. Now let's see where this leads to. Seems fine, actually. A bit nauseating, perhaps. I'll try my best not to jump around with the screen as much as I can. Oh, I do apologize in advance. Ooh! This is an area we haven't been to before. Come on, guys. Oh. More of them. And they're blocking access. So, here's some new blood come to feed the furnace. I doubt you'll last long. The man spreads a jagged-toothed grin and runs his tongue along the front of his teeth. He stares at you while he does. Is this supposed to be doing something for me? He smiles even wider. Should I care? He leans forward as if he's about to tell you something confidential. I will tell you, I don't care about this contest. I don't even care about the leave. He sweeps his hands around, indicating the room. The censor's given me a wonderful playground. I have high hopes of making it out with all my pieces intact. The censor wanted this to be challenging. You should have sent people with more drive. He shrugs. With the help of my mates and a few sages, we'll toast the competition into a fine ash and powder our faces with their defeat. And if we find the silent archive in the process, that will be good too. You really need to die. Cutting right to the chase without any other foreplay. A man after my own heart. Aww, that's so nice. You know what? Die, bastard. I'm sure nothing bad.
Heads up. See that?
Attention, kid! You might learn something.
Not only you might.
I will break you!
Yes. Wait, you missed the... No. How did you miss? As usual, I'm amazed by your ability to persist in failing in the obvious.
I got it.
Smash to pieces!
Oh, come on! All's fine. See?
I got it.
New dagger. It's a bit too fast, actually, truth be told. Let's turn it down a notch again. Still. No, that's better. We did level up in the process, however, and this I find most interesting and important, actually. We need to increase our magic ability. I really dislike getting downed all the time. Oh, nah, not really. We need to decrease our cooldowns or our attack strength. We need to increase our quickness, as usual. What new ability do we activate for our character? Taking from stealth? No. Two-handed mastery? Yes, it might be. Ooh. Doing a massive blow increases the critical hit damage. Wait, we haven't assigned Thunder, I can see, and we're taking two-handed mastery level 2. Where is Thunder, by the way? Why is it not in this? And here I was wondering why I'm missing certain abilities. Let's interpret the symbols. Sigil of cyclical energies, level 2. Climb the rubble. Oh, it is favored. Who knew? It never ends, does it? The injured, oath-bound soldier laughs ruefully, causing her to cough. Flecks of blood spew from her mouth and hit the cheek of a sage currently binding her wounds. Sorry. Oh, fine. Little blood comes with the territory. But you need to keep quiet or I won't be able to get this done right. I don't want you bleeding out. Thank you. I appreciate your help, even with all the trouble I've caused you. The sages aren't nearly as bad as I was led to believe. She smiles and winces. She stares at you, all signs of levity gone from her expression. What are you planning on doing? We are both trapped here with those chorus members right on the other side. But at rubble, and I'm certainly in no shape to fight. Would seem we're quite in a bind. You're right. A life spared won't turn the tide. You're not worth killing. Both of them visibly relax. The soldier slumps back against the shelves, and the sage returns to his work binding her wounds. Thank you. Finding mercy from anyone in here is the last thing I expected. We aren't going anywhere, but as soon as I'm ready I can get us out. The problem is a group over there. They're already gone. The way is safe. The sage smiles. Thank you! As soon as I can, I will get out of here. I'm sure you will. Sure you will. A glowing book.
It's a tough job being so remarkable all the time.
That looks like the final piece. I can't fucking believe it. I'm going to see this silent archive. Oh, keep it together, Lantry. You're going to give yourself a heart spasm. With an embarrassed smile, Lantry takes a swig from a vial of ink of his bandolier. The symbols on the page swim before your eyes, fading and reappearing as you watch. As you stare at them, they slowly resolve themselves into a series of sentences. First and foremost, for those that have the strength of will, the door to the north shall open. Second comes passion, burning in the south like an unending fire, to provide vitality to the dedicated. Then from the west shall the one with true resolve come to explain the gravity of commitment to knowledge. Lastly, look to the east and brace yourselves against those who would pull you down. Let your might be solid as stone. So, north, south, west, east. Interesting.
Sorry, I can't.
No, you can, you just don't want to. What you need is a little bit more passion. More spell strength. If you're a caster, be a caster. Now, I did want to give her the repelling wave last time already. Ah, yeah, well, why not?
I got it.
Sure? Because I'm not sure you do. Take it. Ooh, we can get down there as well. Anything I've missed? No, we came from there. Nothing there. Let's go down here. Wonder where this will get us to. Ah, yes, another part. Nothing down here.
Powerful warding magic keeps this place intact. Who knows how long it will hold?
Cut the banter and stay low.
I'm always staying low.
I got it.
Send me your champion!
And more scorches. Oh, right. Like this.
Let's have it then.
See, I
On
knew
it.
this would be happening. Well, it seems like frost magic really
That's
is his
how it's-
forte. Oh, good to know.
Stop!
But see, that wasn't too hard.
I got it.
Broken armor
Spotted something.
and a trap. And disarmed.
On it.
Interesting sigil, actually. Dusty missive. This missive is a reply intended for Sage Renata. It urges her to make an important decision about the future of their guild. Evidently, the sages were often used as mediators between the armies, oftentimes because Graven Ash simply refused to work with the voices of Nerad due to the troubled past between the two. Interesting. Another piece of the puzzle. I think there's all there in the poem. Activate the runes, the descending order. Really? So, north, south, west, east. Ta-da!
Right.
And thus entry was given. The sigil of influential domain. This room is mysteriously untouched by the destruction that ripped the rest of the library apart. The scrolls look completely undisturbed. How strange. Another scroll. More scrolls. And more scrolls. More advanced scrolls. Sigil of timeless form. Let's take a short look. Ooh, what's this? Sigil of influential domain. To create a spell that affects all targets within a circular area. I like this one. Range of 12 meters. For a duration of 30 seconds. With an incredibly low cooldown. It'll be some time before I'm able to make this spell. Too bad I can't make it a frost spell. But I can make it a god 185. Basically, it's a spell that'll kill everyone within. No, it won't. Ah, too bad. It'll only freeze our enemies. Oh man. But interesting nonetheless. Slumber. This is a sleep spell. This can't be used for this. This can't be used for it either. Okay. Anything else? I have reactivated. What is this? New item since last visit 2. Yes, we'll take a look at it next time. God. Ay, ay, ay. And into the depths we go. Oh, it's a trial of Arkham has been upgraded. The senses sort forbidden knowledge, burning level sense a pit hot search against one another. Using hardship bronze to found weapons, one fought by Master taken from Cunon's care. During the conquest, sent Can to destroy Edging Fort. Graven Ash was acting on deep-seated animosity against the voids of Nerad. Interesting. Silence the secrets. Use the parchment pieces to reach. Yes, I've already done so. Speak with Foul Mama. And interrogate Foland to get information on Renata's whereabouts. I don't think I'll need to. I'll find her just like this. In case you don't think I will, you're sadly mistaken. But then again, nothing new to me, really. Can already give them. Ooh, this sounds interesting. Ah, there they are, the Silent Archives. The sensor. So she followed us down here. While I assumed it would be you who would emerge as the victor in this game, I must say I'm a little disappointed you were able to dispatch all of my men so readily. The fear of death is a great motivator, but causing death seems to motivate you a little more. I guess I'll have to show a more discerning eye in my recruiting. Although I suppose it's a little too soon to celebrate. You have yet to retrieve his silent archive. She looks across the pools of lava at the platform and shakes her head. The intensity of the magic it must have taken to ensure the preservation of that scroll. Rather amusing if you think about it. They may have stopped the building from collapsing, but they couldn't stop the edict, or the Scarlet Chorus. All they did was sacrifice themselves for a scrap of parchment they're going to lose anyway. You won the game, Fatebinder. Far be it from me to take the glory from you. She holds out her hand, motioning at the Silent Archive. Claim thy prize. You know, just for security reasons, I'm going to save now. What's this? An obsidian fragment. The stone here is flagged with small bits of obsidian. One larger piece juts out from the wall and looks like it could be removed.
My armor feels lighter.
Interesting. Ooh, what does he need? He needs more strength. He needs to hit as hard as a brick. What else can we get him? Bonus to armor? No. Seasoned veteran might be a increase of... Oh, this is interesting. Since I gave him a shield anyway, which he's using, he has to make the best out of it.
Right. Huh. Have a look here.
What's this? Chronicler's Eye. Only Landry can do this. Oh, ooh, this looks interesting. White leather boots. Can't use them anyway. Just as well. I really am thinking about the staff. Is it better than hers? Oh yes, it is. No, wait. Oh no, it is. Interesting. This goes in here. This exchanges her staff. This exchanges her shoes. And Landry will from now on grab this. What's this? Plus 10 subterfuge. As I as the boss would rather need that. Plus 10 parry is useful, but not as useful as anything else. He currently has plus health and minus recovery boost. There. That should help him much more.
On it.
It should also now give me, as the main character, the basic and primary amount of subterfuge. Doesn't it? 74, 77, yes. I'm unsure. It seems dangerous. The altar sits in the middle of a lake of lava, encircled by ritual braziers. The bodies of the sages who gave their lives to stop the library's collapse are littered around the central pedestal. First Sage Arwell's directive. Sage Torwin, Kairos' armies have been rebuffed for now, but it is only a temporary victory. I have no doubt that we may hold these walls a good deal longer, but you must remember that the Overlord aims not to butcher the Citadel's keepers, but to destroy its secrets. Kairos is not omnipotent. Her powers may be known and understood in time, and she rightly fears the knowledge we hoard here. The Silent Archive must be protected. There is no library in the tiers that is its equal. Nothing else matters. Nothing. We may not know the Overlord's plans, but with time and research, we can circumvent any of her designs. I need you to ensure that we will have that time when the moment is right. Focus your efforts on Sage Stayer's theoretical forays into temporal magic. While we were right to deny such dangerous experimentation before, now is the time in which its risks are justified. Gather the elder sages and make your way to the lower chambers. You are to remain there until you devise a solution to Stayer's problems of scale. Halting the flow of time in a single chamber won't be sufficient if Kairos drowns us all in a storm or hurls the library into the firmament. We must find a way to encase all of the Citadel in such a spell should disaster come. Your success isn't optional. This library will be a distant memory of Kairos away. Should we both survive, I will be happy to congratulate you on your breakthrough. Until then, get to work. Interesting. Pointless, of course, because in the end you did fail, but interesting nonetheless. Sage Lightotus. Help you with a ring in the ear. Scale is the issues. There's research. One artifact to use. There's potent. Yes. Take the Silent Archive. A nimbus of magical energy surrounds this scroll, which levitates above the central platform. You see characters upon the parchment, but they seem to shift from one language to the next. Amazing. I suspected there was more to the Silent Archive than a simple vault. Extraordinary. This scroll must represent thousands of scholarly works. The motion of the characters on the scroll's surface slows as you approach, seemingly in response to your presence. Examine the magical aura. Waves of energy radiate out from the scroll, billowing up towards the ceiling and fanning out to encompass the cavernous chamber. It appears that the Silent Archive is an active participant in some sort of ongoing spell. Removing the scroll would assuredly have disastrous effects upon that active spell. Yes, I know. Analyze the spell. This must be the time stasis spell referenced in Sage Arwell's letter. Judging by the bodies arrayed around the Silent Archive, the mages appear to have been successful in their attempts to halt the destruction of Kairos' edict, though they did not survive the process. Deconstruct the spell's focus. Lilot's experiments with Foki clearly paid off. The spell protecting the burning library is operating at a massive scale. Its chaotic energy is clearly stabilizing by the Silent Archives itself. Its underlying mechanism is familiar to you. It seems likely that any artifact of sufficient power could serve as the spell's focus. Should the need arise, you believe you could swap the Silent Archive for another item of power without disrupting the ongoing temporal magic. Can I swap the Silent Archive with an artifact? I doubt you'll be able to recover anything you swap out. Be sure that you're confident before you sacrifice an artifact. I don't have an artifact to use right now. What are you? As you utter the question, the scroll's surface is suddenly wiped clear. After a moment, words begin to form on the page. Indeed, the Silent Archive is meant to be the final source of knowledge. Every text we have magically transcribed bubbles beneath its surface, waiting to be called forth. Fatebinder, should this be true, the Silent Archive would be worth more than some of the old realms. The passage fades away, only to be replaced by another. The Silent Archive is the 100-year endeavor of the School of Quill Ink. As one of its creators and guardians, I've ensured that its knowledge may only be accessed by sages of my order, and only those specifically charged with such a weighty responsibility. The Silent Archive is thus a glittering jewel that only a few may see. Should the artifact fall into outsider hands, I expect that less than 1 in 100 of its secrets will be revealed in the span of a lifetime. Interesting. Another save for the occasion. And we'll
Yes.
leave for now. I don't yet have an artifact. Staff of Horus. Oh wait, I do have an artifact. Ooh. Interesting. So I could use the Staff of Horus instead. I didn't know. So basically this is an artifact. Interesting. Let's keep her staff for her. Swap the artifact. Let's assume the worst. Whatever you put on the pedestal will probably need to take the place of the Silent Archive, and remain here for as long as this place stands. So choose wisely. Place the Staff of Horus then. You delicately remove the Silent Archive from the central pedestal, careful to replace it with another artifact in the span of a few seconds. The lines of energy flowing through the platform's center warble and distort disconcertingly for a moment, accompanied by faint tremors that unsettle the molten liquid below. After a few seconds of uncertainty, the spell's magic refocuses upon the newly placed object, its lines of energy once again resuming their stable flow upward and out to the rest of the burning library. Your swap appears to have worked, and you've earned yourself the silent archive for your trouble. All that remains is to take the artifact outside. Once the silent archive has crossed the threshold, leading to the exterior, it is likely that you will fulfill Kairos' mandate to remove all forbidden knowledge from the realm citadel. So,
Right.
ooh, +1 wits, +1 resolve, +10 trap detection. I like this one already. Yo, Lentry. Legends. You wear it. Now, unless I'm mistaken, the sensor has gone. Alright. Now let's see, where does the path to our right lead? Or is it just a shortcut? I suppose it's just a shortcut, but you can never know. We'll see in a moment. Oh, just a shortcut. The library stands, and yet we satisfy the terms of Kairos' edict. Seems like a contradiction, but I'm not one to question the Overlord's magic. Whatever happens next, your guess is as good as mine. The air surrounding you begins to thin, and the smell of embers begins to diminish. The clouds of smoke slowly revealing the sky beyond them. You feel a powerful pulse of warm energy burst from the silent archive. Sound disappears into a deafening silence. Your vision blurs, and you are overcome by a dizziness that nearly knocks you off your feet. Then, as quickly as it hits you, the feeling passes. The air around you begins to settle, and the particles of fire and ash that moments ago stung your eyes dissipate with a chilly gust. With the silent archive removed from the burning library, the Edict of Fire is extinguished, and its warmth feels pulled into your very chest, a sensation that feels similar to the weightlessness when the Edict of Execution broke at Ascension Hall. While I'm all in favor of undoing the Overlord's magic, this whole Edict of Fire couldn't have happened to a shittier gaggle of scum-suckers. Still, the fires could have spread elsewhere in time, so you did the right thing. So much knowledge turned to smoke and ash. Ending the edict can't undo the damage, but perhaps now this place can be rebuilt. I hope future scholars can unearth whatever remaining books and scrolls are still buried within. The sages had better sharp up and share the knowledge this time. Hoarding it got them here, and I hate to think that history might repeat itself. The shape and intensity of the fires leap in your mind. The details of the mighty incantation, the wording, the magical logic of the flames, all are seared in your mind with perfect recall. The Edict of Fire is now a part of you. As the edict fills you with its power, you feel the inferno inside the burning library beginning to wane. Temperatures start to cool, lakes of lava recede, and internally burning fires flicker and fade. It may take time before the burning library is referred to as a realm citadel again, but ending the edict will allow access to knowledge thought to be lost forever. Ah, the sensor. You have proven yourself to be the true winner of this game, Fatebinder. Without your help in the library, my man would surely have ended up killing themselves in one way or another. I'm not such a fool to ask you to turn over the silent archive. If the voices ask you to retrieve it personally, I will leave it to you to give it to him. I am more than happy to remain here, out of his gaze. You even managed to keep the library intact, for the most part. Nerat will be pleased with our success. I would appreciate it if you could let him know of my role in the success. Kairos might not be too happy though, and I don't know what reaction will be the ending the edict. But that's a matter for you to deal with, isn't it? He laughs like he just told a joke. I do ask her one thing of you. She steps closer and you can hear that her breathing is quickened. Can I hold the silent archive? Just spent. All that fuss spent retrieving it. I want to be able to say I had it in my hands. Really? Really? We already know that she can read it? And I can only say, of course. Am I really this dumb? We hand her the silent archive. Of course. The senses giggling takes on a manic tone, and her breathing borders on hyperventilating as you place the scroll in her hands. As the vellum touches her hands, there is a flash, brighter than the one you saw before, and she makes an orgasmic noise, almost dropping the silent archive. And now that you have the information in the silent archive, take it to Nerat yourself, with my regards. The censor looks down at the silent archive and back at you. Under her breath, you hear her whisper, "You fool! You had to know this was coming!" And she shakes her head and holds the silent archive out to you. Fatebinder, I wouldn't dream of taking this honor from you. By all means, you're more than welcome to deliver this to Nerat yourself. I insist. This is what you wanted, isn't it? Nerat gets to destroy the archive and keep all its information. And he asked for you, personally. The censor's entire countenance falls, and she rocks back onto her heels, looking as if she's trying to shy away from your words. What? She is silent for a moment, then continues, a force-happy tone to her voice. Well, when I could use a change of scenery, my eyes have practically melted from watching lava flow. She looks down. Farewell, Fatebinder. There's no finality to her tone. I hope to see you back at Cacophony. I hope not. Now, did I lose it? Nope, still have it. You ended Kairos' Edict of Fire. Your power increases. It's now 625. That's a strange,
Will do.
somehow very strange way to do this. The Fatebinder returns! Nothing really. I don't really care for you. Time to leave. There's nothing more I can do here. Nothing more I want to do here. Nothing else remains for me in this place. The edict is ended. See, I do really want to first gain the Sunset Spire, but I suppose we'll have to go to Cacophony. Oh, but it seems we have a quest here. Upgrade Mysterious Device Ascension Hall. Let's go to the Runic Hall now. I really want to know if we can get somehow in there. I want to get my second spire. And after all, we already know there's a third one up here. In the Stone Lands.
Right.
Can it be that it's the same? What did it look like? What? Oh wait, it actually does create some sort of image. Interesting. Ah, this doesn't look right. It looks fascinating though. Nah, wasn't it? So there's a tower shape we can see, basically like symbol of infinity. How did that one look? Tell me, the Edict of Stone is still working. Edict of Storms. Don't have anything new up here. I need to make, I don't know, a screenshot perhaps. Though, I think I have one. Where was it? Among my screenshot collection of a game. Let's see. Where was it? No, it doesn't seem like it's somewhere where I can see it right now. How strange. Which one of these was it though, I wonder? I have no idea. Let's see. My apologies for the delay. Where was it? No. Here? No. Where the hell was that? I do oh, it's most likely among my quest items. Right now. No. Spy, accessory, other quest items. Carol's Edict, Sage Notes, Dusty Missive, First Class Starboard, Burnt Missive, Ink Stirring Scroll, Passphrase, Incomplete Chapel. Alright, so it's basically a 4-part star. So it's and alright. Yes, I think I can get this now. So let's see. It's and So 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. No. Oh man. What? Oh, so now I know that it needs to be here, and then the other side as well, which is this one, and 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 this one.
Right.
So that's a symbol, isn't it? Am I missing something? Maybe oversight as well, it seems. But only this and this. And this and this. Ah, see? There it is. Who's awesome? I'm awesome. Ascent, our new spire. I knew if I just saw the symbol again, and considering that we had it already. And up we go. Spire unlocked. You've acquired a second spire. All spires are linked, allowing you to travel instantly between them. This reduces your travel time through the tiers. You can upgrade spires you discover, building new structures on top of them. Each upgrade will provide you with different benefits. Click on the spire icon. Thank you. Takes money and time. If you no longer have money to maintain an upgrade, it will be suspended. There are 5 resources you can find. Thank you. The arcane light courses skyward, trailing off toward the horizon in the direction of Wendrin's well. You feel the ground ripped out from beneath you yet again as you drift back into the warmth of the energy surrounding you. Your awareness stretches beyond the limits of this spire, pulling in many directions at once. The light you saw arcing through the sky reminds you of a tether you feel to the top of Wendrin's well. This too is a point of connection, and you are an inextricable part of it, bound as surely as the spires are to each other. The Sunset Spire in Lefian's Crossing feels burdened by its age, as if a central linchpin somewhere in its core has weathered the centuries of oppressive weight and longs to topple. The surge of energy that courses through you, forming a link with Wendrin's well, strengthens the very stones beneath your feet. The structural weakness you detected vanishes, replaced by confidence that could keep this tower standing for millennia. See, there, due south is Ardent, where I was born, and then over the right of that is where the Academy of Tides used to stand. Oh, and you can see that little island of the barrows and chains. That's where Hagrivar would take me to practice our more dangerous spells. My childhood is seen from above. This is surreal. And tell me where you're writing from. Lantry speaks aloud as he pens a missive. And how to reach you, and I will send you an iron ring for your troubles. He signs his name with a flourish, and then tosses the parchment into a wind. In the blink of an eye, the heavy currents carry the slip of parchment eastward. I had this idea of a message in a bottle without a bottle. Maybe it'll work. From here, even the old worlds seem paltry. This sovereign view was not intended for the likes of us. Barrick shakes his head slowly. The spire feels like a relay between you and Wendrin's well, bridging some transference of energy on an enormous scale. You are the first link of a chain that stretches the length of the realm. As you struggle to understand the sensation, you grow aware of whispers all around you. Listen closer. The whispers themselves seem to travel down the tether between you and your spires, conducting heat that feels at times unbearable. They speak of your actions, your choices, everything that led you to this place. Your name is known, your banner recognized, your deeds reported across the tiers and the Northern Empire alike. For an instant, you can see the accumulated hope and fear these whispers represent. It appears like dewdrops setting on a leaf, then trickling into a shared basin. This image is fed to you through your connection, a base metaphor that only hints at the true scope. There is power in these spires, though its source is unfamiliar. Were you to harness it, you suspect that nothing would stand beyond your reach. Unlocking the spire seems to have opened some deeper connection. I don't know what you've done, but standing near you warms my rusted plate. Makes me feel lighter somehow. Under moments, my staff and I are separated. Part of the magic goes dormant, and then I'm once again near. That same dynamic is happening with you and the spires. They've adopted you, I guess? They certainly like you enough not to kick you out of bed. Curious. I'm noting something I also observed at the spire and Wendrin's well. There's a mystic hum, and it is a little beats when you walk, tiny fluctuations when you talk. Unless my senses are deceiving me, you and the spires are mystically attuned to each other. Most fascinating indeed. A quill pen appears in his hand, and the old sage begins furiously jotting notes on his arm. Fire upgrades! Oh wait, I can upgrade this spire, but I can only recruit people on this spire. Aha. Wonder why. Oh, let's build a forge. Yes. Oh, because of the mysterious device, it seems. Because the mysterious device already exists. Oh! So basically, that's it. That's why I can't build anything. Oh, now this makes sense, actually. Each spire has one upgrade possible. Greetings, Fatebinder. How may I help you? I found a reference to a dagger called Heart's Blood. What can you tell me about this? Heart's Blood? Really? Let me see that book. He looks at it. This is incredible. Unfortunately, the information in that book isn't sufficient for me to recreate it. If you're able to give me more information on it, I could probably make it for you. Is there something else? I found this hilt in the old walls. What can you tell me about it? It looks like the hilt of Sentinel, one of the finest swords the Forge Bound have ever made. With this, I could recreate it for you. First, tell me about the forge. He gestures at the nearby anvils. If you want to upgrade your weapons and armor, you can use any of the anvils. It should be simple enough if you've got the materials. You need something that requires a mastersmith, like forging a one-of-a-kind item. Come talk to me, and I'll see what I can do. What can you forge for me? Let me show you, Fatebinder. Not enough. Why do I have to pay this man to forge? Artifact Commander's Plate. Bronze. But it has a few action abilities. Interesting. Elegance. One-handed spear. Artifact Nightwalker Boots. Made from the hide of a powerful beastman traitor. Ooh, I want them. But they require more hound's hide mantle. And recruits need a forge. Forging advances as your party gains experience. I see. Sorcerer's Blade. It's a one-handed blade. It's pointless. Sentinel. Two-handed superior blade. Plus 5% health while it has wounds every 6 seconds. Ooh, nice. Costs a little bit and much more bronze ingots than I have. Oh man. I want this. Man. F you. Something else, of course. This also means that they should be able to hire. Yes, you can see, can now hire more smiths and other such people.
On it.
What's this? Oh, sigil of piercing. Now I'll take it. Oh, there's verse. What's this? And there's kills and shadow. Because of course there is.
See that?
Bye now. So they brought material, which I'm currently taking. Nice. Might as well. And get this. Don't know what the spire worker is currently hiding, but I'll find it. And we'll take it. It's an ardent bronze sword. Not sure if it's worth anything. Let's see. It's actually better on the bronze axe he's currently using. Sad day indeed. Alright. Sigil of channel strength. Nice. So, oh, Lantry wants to talk to us.
So, your latest acquisition has me thinking about the spires some more. By all accounts, they go as far back as the old walls. Over the centuries, the nobles of the tiers have claimed the spires, but they've only ever battled over the land at the ground level of the monuments. I've never seen the glyphs of a spire light up in all my years. Not until you show up. If this were an isolated incident, I'd be confused. But it seems the spires, plural, are somehow connected to you. What's your secret?
I've studied your Tunon's feet, proclaimed edicts, broken them too. I'm sure I've been exposed to all sorts of arcane powers. A long sigh escapes Lantry, and he sticks his quill in his mouth, chewing on the tip. His head tilts from one side to the other, muttering in-shout or half words. I always want to know what you're thinking.
If I had the words for it, I'd share. I'm just not sure what to make of it. I'm realizing how much more there is to learn.
You'll learn while we travel. I am sure there's more to it. Let's get going. Beric, a word.
It is rare enough that anyone has the opportunity to proclaim an edict, much less break one. How are you holding up, Fatebinder?
I toy with powers greater than my understanding, and yet I don't stop.
At least you are aware of your recklessness. I would be more concerned if the case was otherwise. Take care that you don't exhaust yourself and become worthless to the war effort.
Beric looks you up and down with appraisal, keeping any conclusions to himself.
What can I do for you?
You don't like me very much, do you? I have found you to be an agent of great misdeeds, and disgusts me that your official capacity keeps you at bay from the guilt or punishment deserving of a soldier if they committed similar acts. The question is irrelevant. Your support of the voices of Narat makes you an enemy of Graven Ash and no friend of mine. I cling to our allegiance and hope that it will end the war and bring dignity to the disfavored. I see. We'll talk later then. Thank you nonetheless. Yes, Ed?
A second spire has awoken to your presence. This is fascinating, and I admit enviable. If it turns out your connection to the spires invites death and woe, my jealousy might wane a bit. I've been mulling over that structure we found atop Vendrian's well. Would you be opposed to me studying the sculpture in closer detail? I'd perhaps work a spell or two near the structure. Simple cantrips of Gravelight by which to read and inspect, but I will not poke or shove the thing in any way physical or mystical.
Simple cantrips of Gravelight? Gravelight is a magical term for the light of the moon, Territor's grave, specifically when harnessed, manipulated for nefarious purposes. While the moon's rays are normally incapable of causing so much as a mild sunburn, the Tidecasters have long studied magic that can concentrate these rays into bolts and beams of searing doom. Pole control moon style upon the oceans will often mention that diverting moonlight is the easy stuff compared to pulling pushing of tides, but modern times the force is full of tides to concentrate. If you think it wise, of course.
Thank you. Next time we have a good moonlit night, I best settle in and see what sort of magic perturbations I can sense from the sculpture. What is it you need?
Nothing. Let's return to our travels for now. There are other places we need to go to. Other places we need to reach. And right now, I want to return to the mountain spire. Ooh, instantly teleport. Flop. It's like making one step atop a cloud and moving back from it onto hard ground. And here we are once again.
Yes.
2 spires are now active.
That's twice now. By Kyros's icy nethers, twice! Edicts have been broken before, but never in all my many years have I heard of one person doing it twice.
Anyone can do it. Just think about the wording of the edict and you'll find Kyros's left options.
That's like saying winning a war is as simple as raising a giant army and making all the right maneuvers. Knowing what must be done and actually doing it, well, that's the dividing line between being a legend and being forgotten.
Interesting that you would say so. Indeed. You feel as if your reach has broadened. You can feel the push and pull of your influence growing throughout the tiers. If you concentrate, it would appear you can begin the same trance that showed you glimpses of the previous spire. Touch the resonator and concentrate. Once more you touch the sculpture. Once more your mind is flooded with sensation. This time of your senses leaving your body and floating up. Higher even than the mountain spire, until all of Territus is beneath your feet. From high above, you see the mystic currents moving about Territus, billowing clouds of every color that churn about the realms. Even from this faraway vantage point, the cyclones and currents of magic fill you with dread and foreboding. Set your senses towards the mystical currents. As you near the mystic currents, you hear inchoate voices, commands, proclamations, the stuff of edicts. All across Territus, the edicts of Kairos, some centuries old, still live on, their arcane signatures bright as the midday sun, seemingly stronger than the day they were proclaimed. As your senses float away from the arcane turbulence, you are struck by the fact that land untouched by edict appears to be in the minority. Even lands long ago conquered by Kairos are still haunted by edicts, because they still linger from the olden days of conquest, or they were cast more recently to suppress rebellion. Your senses cannot glean. Interesting. Step away from the sculpture. How strange. Anything catches your eye? Have you made me anything lately? Sure do! Come right here, I'll show you. Ooh, nice. Not useful, but nice. Two-handed greatsword, very good. Oh man. Show me what you have for sale for now. I do wish to sell some things to you, of course. What can I sell? This, of course, and this, and this, oh wait. Oh, it is from the merchant actually. Sold. Da 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 da, selling stuff. How come most of this stuff isn't worth anything? Sell this to a merchant. Well, most of his stuff isn't worth anything. Kind of sad if you ask me, of course. What? I want to sell this. Sell it. Orange short bow. None of these, of course. Yay, we got money! And somehow the number of camping supplies we can keep has increased. How strange. Oh, something else. Yo, Kenrick, what do you have for me? I swear for the forge. What do you need, Fatebinder? You have something for me ready? Let me show you what I have already. Nope. Hasn't got a thing. What? Oh, I've seen the currents, but he doesn't give me access to anything new. The Sunset Spire then. I wish to know if I can upgrade the equipment of my or my companions' worth. Now he's set to use the forge. Forge. Select a weapon or armor from your inventory to upgrade. This upgrades to upgrade time 5 hours. Oh yes, it becomes a bit better. Upgrade. Yep. Oh, I can upgrade it with needs a new recruitment. Right. Because that's normal. Can I upgrade? No. That was quick. Can I upgrade this? Yes, I can, but I don't have the stuff I need for it.
Right.
Oh, wait. I want you to forge something for me. About Sentinel, what do I miss? I need 5 recruits at the forge. I think that is a possibility. Which, him, zwei, 3, 4, 5. Right, now these are 5 people. Now travel to the spire. As he said before, they should appear the next time I travel to the Sunset Spire. That means I now travel back, and suddenly there they are. If all goes well, of course. And back again. Bloink. Kabloink. Of course, after this, we'll have to go to Cacophony. Or into the old walls, which means we need to figure out how to get in there. Maybe someone in Lefian's Crossing will know. See. I want you to forge something for me. Forge me Sentinel. Oh, come on! Really? Now? Yo, you. Show me what you have for sale. Ooh, nice collection. No. Buy things from me. Well, I don't care right now. This. Ooh, yes, that's worth a lot. I don't really need one, truth be told. Interestingly, he only gives me this much. Not as much as they are worth. Doesn't matter. I wanted to forge something for me. Oh no! Wait. Before I go there, my current weapon, how much damage does it do? Aversion, 21 to 28, plus 6, 1.5, and has parrying. Forge something for me. Sentinel, 21 to 28, plus 6, 1.5. It's not actually worth it, interestingly. Oh, man. It's not even an artifact, interestingly. This is, on the other hand. What do we have here? Ab. Territory's Embrace, new ability. Heart of the Storm we already had. Barrick almost fears us enough to give us Blade Grave's Grasp. Landry doesn't like us enough to give us Wheel of the Ages, nor doesn't fear us enough for Theft of Memory. Kills and Shadows doesn't really have that much of an opinion. Stone Stalker Tribe. The Vendrian Guard. We almost get an ability from them. Nice. You equipped a powerful artifact. Yes, well, I've also put it away. Bladenmark was watching. Interesting. I wonder how far does this man follow me? this? Oh, yes, I got a new sigil. Flash fire. Ranged area of effect. Ooh, they could create a frost fire. Oh man, I want to have an awesome frost fire. Burns nearby enemies, throws onto weapons left burning. Ooh, very high radius. Interesting. An interesting idea, to be sure. Oh, Fatebinder Rogalus. On the subject of aspires. My dear Telemar, the court is all abuzz with the news of a civil war. Representatives from the chorus and the disfavored are having little shouting matches in front of Tunon. The petitioners to the court seem swept up in talks of who will crush whom, and if and when Tunon will bring down the gavel and stop the fighting. What has me more intrigued is the other story out of Endrin's Well. Tunon sends you on what I thought was going to be a one-way trip to the well, and not only do you live, you somehow claimed the mountain spire, and you broke Kyros's edict too. Such things make a little civil war seem so trivial in comparison. At least to those who can separate the message from the noise. Tell me, what was it like to break the edict, and how is it you took control of the spire? Respond with questions for your own. Dear Rogalus, did you know what the wording of the edict would entail? Did you advocate that I be sent on what was likely to be a one-way journey? Your questions is nah. This is assholeish. Rogalus is our friend. Don't send it. Explain experience as best as we can. Simply said, must claim before. No, downplay the events. Tune on, minor wrath. Explain the events as best as we can. That's how I actually claim mutual bond. This is what happened, but I can't think to describe it. Yes. Send it. Missive is in transit. Great. Now about our quests. Seed for power. Claim the remaining spires and the tiers. Snuffing them out. I don't really care for this. Trial of the Archons. And Silence of Secrets. Return to... Very well. I say it's an instant teleport. Oh, right, before I forgot it. Let's increase or upgrade the weapons of my companions first. His quill, for example. Bam. 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 Can't upgrade any further. Should be now a much better weapon. For her, great. For me, the cost is too high. Not really that useful. Later on, perhaps. We will travel now to Cacophony. Who knows what'll await us? Oh, I can only teleport between spires and then have to travel by road. Great. Because that's something I always wished I could do. It's strange that they use the general loading screen for the Stone Lands when this is nothing like what Cacophony looks like. Received a missive from Fatebinder Rogalus. What does our friend write? What a cue. Dear Telemar, your summation is most fascinating. Thank you for sharing. You are certainly not the first to proclaim an edict. Many of us have been used to complete the casting of the Overlord's magic, and you aren't the first to break an edict, though that list of names is a smaller, more exclusive list. It's curious though, living and recorded memory make no mention of someone who proclaimed and shattered the same edict. In that regard, you are an anomaly. The bad news is the Archons know this, and will be suspicious of his distinction. Along with this parchment, I have included the contact information of the Honorable Fatebinder in my office. An old peer of mine, and perhaps the most knowledgeable in the court on matters not taught to us by Tyranny. Treat her with respect, and she will not betray your confidence. Best of luck, Telemar. I think things are about to get even stranger for you. Suppose you're right. Fatebinder Myotis. Quill in hand, you loom over a blank sheet of parchment. You have Binder my office's contact information in hand and contemplate your opening words. Let's be polite. Dear Fatebinder my office, I write to you at the urging of my peer and tutor, Fatebinder Rogulus. He has found himself bereft of answers, a rare condition for him, and suggested you may be the only source of the answers I seek. If you will pardon the imposition, send it. We'll see what responses I gather from this. In the background you can hear the fighting. And the screaming and the cacophony. They're still going at it. Not that I care. Nothing new here. Is there anything new? The voice of Narat, Seven Toes. The voices of Narat regard you with an unreadable expression. You're back! Oh, what do you think of our throne? As much as we hate a cold, unmoving chair, this one suits us. Without a spout to plant ourselves, we would pace the length of the old walls every day in our contemplation. What do you need to know? We're dizzy with answers. I'd like to report on recent events. You return victorious, and our censor has come back to her fold with a wealth of intelligence. As much as a meager brain could hold under the circumstances. But do not grow complacent. We have much work to do before the tears are draped in scarlet robes. The flames behind his mask flicker around the eye hole of anticipation. We must thank you, Fatebinder, for delivering the silent archive into the flame of his body sizzled through the seams of his rags. Safekeeping. Several of our mothers always told us, aim low and avoid disappointment. How it always makes the unexpected win the most ravaging bout of ecstasy. I know. I'm going to need proof that you destroyed the silent archive. I mean, did you really think you could escape the idea or loss of the Overlord this easily? After all, I am willing to toy with you on this, just as you're willing to toy with me. Don't think yourself excluded. I'm going to need proof that you destroyed the silent archive. Proof? Yakin holds his hand against his forehead in a faint swoon, though the fixed expression of his mask fades to sell the gesture. Where's the trust? We are allies. Expect that we take care of important details. Just as we give you such trust, we ask you to show us the blood on your hands and hold you to account for all my followers that run afoul of your temper. Do we? You've raced to a conclusion. Never said I need evidence I can hold. I'll trust you so long as I see something to convince me. The flames of his body crackle momentarily yellow. Oh, we like the way you think. With a quick fist of his wrist, the Archon's wrapped hands deftly sign a spell. An image of a silent archive hovers between you and the Archon, its form not entirely opaque at the edges. In a crackling roar of fire, the silent archive burns for several seconds, for moments of blue-green flame, crisping into nothingness. The edict of fire is quenched, and the ruins smolder no more. Yet we detect a fire all the same, wicked Fatebinder. It burns in your heart, warming you with knowledge and great power. Do not deny it. You have changed before our many eyes. I proclaim the edict. Seemed fitting I be the one to end it. I certainly feel stronger for the experience. The char of the Overlord's magic lines your silhouette. Should you spontaneously melt into a pile of smoldering organs, you have only yourself to blame. But enough of this. We demand progress, and nothing will ever get done if you insist on plaguing us with frivolity. The Blade Grave is a beautiful pocket of disorder. An edict shreds the lands to ribbons, and soldiers by the hundreds are let into the furnace of war. Angry sons of old stalwart, dubbing themselves unbroken, clash spears with the disfavored. We can use the edict and the conflict to our benefit. They keep the disfavored occupied, and the tears within our grasp. While these idiot juggernauts bash each other into ruin, we can extract what we need. The daughter of Graven Ash has been a prisoner to these stalwart wretches. Secure her for us, and fetch her to Cacophony straight away. Inviting Ash's progeny into the fold is an advantage we cannot ignore. Seek out also Jagged Remedy and Trapper's Junction. He has cornered the beleaguered unit of Unbroken. Help him recruit their leader, Matthias, into the fold, that he might help us reach the jewel of a realm, the great keep of Sentinel Stand. Had we the resources, we would split you in pieces and send you to represent our interests wherever you go. As you can only follow one path at a time for now, we leave the choice to you. The Blade Grave or Levian's Crossing. Whichever you choose, return to Cacophony when your mission is complete. I have questions about the censor. You take enough upon yourself without the burden of worrying about our lackeys. Better to get some real work done in this fallen nation than go digging through every mass grave or poking around every campfire. His flames subside, whether in caution or warning, you cannot tell. With your help, the censor achieved everything we could have hoped of her. Her performance was exemplary, her contributions unforgotten. She's impaled on a spike right over there. At times your flair for the dramatic exceeds that of Graven Ash. By accomplishing all that we ever desired of her, the censor outlived her usefulness. We awarded her the same honor bestowed on all who fully distinguish themselves in our eyes. By killing yourself, do you even hear yourself? The voices of Narat regards you across a long gulf of silence. His attention darts to the body of the censor, and then returns to you just as quickly. A sound bubbles out of his green flame that dimly resembles a clearing throat. Perhaps one day you will receive a similar accolade. Continue to serve me well, and anything will be possible. I will go to the Blade Grave next then. Travel to Trapper's Junction, where our trusted agent, Jagged Remedy, and his gang have a foothold in the Blade Grave. Speak with him, and bring us the sign of Ash. And take care, dear Fatebinder, that the winds don't unravel the skin from your body.
Fatebinder, I offer you my support on this mission. The Blade Grave is a place of memory. I left many cohorts buried among the ruins, and no small part of myself as well.
Could you elaborate?
I would rather keep topics of war between us. You are free to make treaties as you see fit, but I am less inclined to place my trust in certain individuals.
He glances at the voices of Narat with dread.
I lost countrymen by the hundreds in the last days of a stalwart campaign, and for my troubles I became fused in this armor. A Blade Grave is the last place I ever felt human. That is all I will say about it now.
I'll consider your offer, but I make no promises, Beric.
I understand you have your priorities and your way of getting things done. I just thought...
He looks away, unable to or unwilling to finish the thought.
We're supposed to meet a gang boss in Trapper's Junction. I remember the area well enough to mark it on your map, though doubtless the years have changed it.
Found something.
Oh, something to steal. Because it's not like he'll notice. I wonder whatever happened here. With the secret of the Silent Archive uncovered, the censor
no longer has any purpose beyond serving as a vessel for its knowledge. She has been propped upright by multiple spikes, a garish reminder of her limits to personal advancement within the chorus. Artifact. Powerful magical items, grant powers, forge upgrade. Can build great powerful items. I doubt it. Considering the items I've seen so far, yes, they are useful, not as powerful as I would hope they would be. Especially not in the value that I need them to be. That was very clearly delineated. Now, Trevor's Junction then. What? Why am I going beyond Iron Hearth and Sentinel Stand to Trevor's Junction? I am even walking through Sentinel. This is absurd. Why am I walking through the entire Blade Grave to reach a place that should be at its beginning? This land doesn't look nice, but then again, which does? Received a missive from Fatebinder my office. Tell her, Mom, you remember your training on the Bladen Mark? I remember mine. Funny to think that you and I are about a century apart, but to Bladen Mark we are all children. I'm now the oldest of the court's children, and I've seen much in my time. Probably for the best, everyone assumes I'm old, harmless, and worth shuffling away in the archives. If I were to scrutinize too closely, I'm sure Tunon would find I've grown lax in my spoiled old age. Part of why I'm where I am is that I've kept my head down. You appear to be doing the opposite. In some regards, this is beyond your control. We were chosen for the honor of proclaiming Kairos' edict twice. To decline would have meant death, but to accept means to be placed on the stage for all to see. Kairos' most powerful weapon is not the edict. It's her ability to hand us rope that we willingly use to hang ourselves. Never forget this. There are numerous questions nestled in your request. What is it you wish to know most? Focus your inquiry, and I will answer as best as I can. Tell me about the edicts and their nature. Dear my office, thank you for hearing me out. I have more questions than I have ink, but let's start with a discussion of Kairos' edicts. I have lived under proclaimed and resolved edicts, which makes me far more knowledgeable than the layperson on the subject, and yet still know so little. As if accept. You spot a soldier lying in a slump. With a mud and blood caked on his tattered garb, you can make out the colors and insignia of the Unbroken. He fights through pain with each of his racked breaths. As you approach, he shifts his head slightly towards you, but does not appear to have the strength to look up. So, this is it then. Just kill me quickly. No state to continue on like this. His forced smile sends a trickle of blood out the side of his mouth. What happened here? A battle, from the looks of it. He turns into the wind and sniffs. Not a terrible, impressive one, but a bloody one. He raises his head and takes a look at you while wincing. Scarlet Chorus. They've been driving us across this wasteland, pressing their attack at every turn. Looks like they finally got us cornered in this place. I was part of the first line of defense. When my comrades got wiped out, the chorus went on through. Felt myself lucky they didn't check for survivors. After a few hours, I started to change my mind. His wry smile quickly turns into a wince of pain. I have pressing questions. He coughs up a glob of blood and looks at it with amusement. I don't have much time to regale you with tales of stout history, I'm afraid. I'd rather spend these last moments remembering the true color of the sky.
He focuses up at the dirty wall of storm clouds overhead. Let me hasten your journey to the void one. No. I suppose I'll just leave you be then. The man bursts into a coughing fit. An ugly torrent of blood spurts from his mouth. His gasping for air turns into gurgling as he finally slumps over and stops moving entirely. I can see traps already. And, of course, hordes. These rock spires seem to have risen so suddenly and violently that weapons and armors alike would pierce straight through.
Got it.
Of course. Blood chanter. None of these is the person I'm looking for. But there's a trap. A trap
Spotted
so
something.
obvious I can already see it now. Some Scarlet Furies want to attack me. I mean, of course not, but then again. To the enemy then. Let's see what they have to say for themselves. Guarding the entrance to a makeshift camp, an unbroken warrior stands sentry with thick lines of exhaustion under her eyes. Streaks of sand and rust cover her worn armor and withered skin. Who treads on unbroken lands? The guard's voice trembles with fatigue. Everyone who comes to Trevor's Junction these days is involved in a war somehow. State your intentions. I'm not above killing you just to be safe. The soldier glares at you with intensity and purpose. I'm looking for the Scarlet Chorus in this area. The soldier's hand cautiously moves towards a blade. Ah, you now. I spotted their mad gang boss southeast of our position. She pats her sword hilt and glares with ferocity. If you're in league with a howling mob and their depraved master, then I have nothing to say to the likes of you. I see. Too bad. We could have had such fascinating talks.
Do you have eyes on this?
There he is.
That wasn't so hard.
Oh, what's this? Iron gauntlets. Cool, of course. And someone called Pyre. The heavily armored Crimson Spears presently occupied, using a sharpened piece of bronze on the self-inflicted wound in his forearm. It glances up at you and grimaces. From pain and from recognition it's difficult to tell. The fate binder of Tunon is recognized in my camp. Hail! They call me Jack Remedy. You're a fair way from Tunon's court. Did you get lost or are you here for a reason? Speak up. My gang is occupied enough without entertaining guests. Let's headbutt him. You first. He takes the blow and reels back with wide-eyed incomprehension. Takes him to the length of a shocked silence to blink himself back to awareness and regard you with contempt. Now that is how you get a man's attention! He grins, revealing blood on his front teeth, which he licks clean. The voice's new toy is as thick-headed as I had hoped. Alright, what do you want? Who are you? Future Trash Gang, don't care. Experiments, alchemists, blah. Can you teach me anything you've learned? If would impair and pledge my life and cost no. Back to my questions about you. What did you mean by Voice's new toy? You can't be as dim as this, can you? Your career is on the rise and the voices of Narat has taken an interest. He has eyes for watching and ears for listening. Both in abundance, I assure you. The way he spins it, one might think you're in line for a spot at his second. But the Voices doesn't work that way. One of two things will happen. He counts on dirty fingers. You'll disappear. Where you end up, I'm not sure even the Voices know.
Or one morning we'll simply find you impaled on a spike, and that will be that. The voices doesn't tolerate ambition for an instant longer than it serves his goals, and he's too old to retain anything but fates to amuse him. There was enough questions about you. You've satisfied your curiosity then. Good. We can move on already with your telling me why you've taken up valuable briefing room. With that smart mouth, it's a wonder you're still alive. You're feistier than expected. Good. The Scarlet Chorus needs people of passion to rip the rest into shape. We've cornered a group of soldiers in the pass. I understand that one of them is the unbroken leader Matthias. The voices of Nerat has been adamant about inviting people of influence into our ranks. He wishes to learn as much as he can before he breaks them. And, keeping with the voices' directive, I want to conscript Matthias and his unit and add their strength to my gang. The whole thing has proven troublesome, but we're about to introduce these once proud locals to their breaking point. I'm here to help. What's the problem? These rebels won't give up without a fight, but they're useless to me as corpses, and their stalwart meat keeps better than pork. I want you to convince them to join my crew. Use the charm and skill you won at the Sunset Spire. How could these backwoods ingrates do aught but respect the person who owns the highest building in Lavian's Crossing? He smirks himself. The Unbroken should be pushovers by now. We've bled them nearly dry, and they will prove malleable. But talking, negotiation, he shivers a little, not my strong suit. Speak with them. Convince them to put down their rusted poles and join our ranks. I thought that Ash forbade the Scarlet Chorus from entering the Blade Grave. Do you see Graven Ash here, swinging his hammer with wild abandon? He makes a show of glancing about the area. Neither do I. We're in the middle of a civil war. Until the dust settles, Graven Ash doesn't own this region any more than I own Tunon's gavel. I'll think about it. He cranes his neck to observe the rust storm swirling overhead. The weather turns against us. We won't wait forever, so either help us or stand aside. I have no patience for delay.
Yes.
More to plunder. Yo, can't talk to them.
Can't do
Talk
that.
to Matthias. I've come to parley with your leader, Matthias. We know he's here. Step aside, or bring someone who's willing to talk. You again? What is it you want? I've come on behalf of the Scarlet Chorus to deliver the terms of surrender. Surrender? Her eyes narrow as her hand trembles around the hilt of a blade. To those madmen? Just as it would seem, a blade were about to leave its sheath. A voice booms from behind her. Stay your weapon, soldier. We will hear this visitor's terms. Matthias is an old soldier, it seems. An old hand at killing. The unbroken fighter looks pale and worn. His demeanor has begun to show the horrors he's witnessed, but he wears every scar and concerned twitch with a veteran's dignity. Matthias, captain of these troops here in Traverse Junction and the whole of the Unbroken. Captain of what's left of us anyway. I've buried a lot of good soldiers over the last fortnight, and you can hardly consider this our full strength. He looks back at his camp with evident doubt. I've been in the storm too long to hear much news from outside it. But word of mouth has clued me into your features, Fatebinder. He nods. I'm a little preoccupied dealing with Kairos' army. To deal with Kairos' dignitaries, if you don't mind. The Scarlet Chorus are giving me a headache of edict-like proportions. He speaks like he's highborn, Barrick mutters to you. Cousin to Regent, maybe. Weak blood. Might be intelligent, but clearly his spine has given out under the pressure of war. What seems to be the problem? What should be no mystery to you, who pledged fealty to the voices of Nerat. No doubt you witnessed your share of recruitment horrors in the past. The gang in our shadow has hunted us for weeks, launching surprise attacks in the middle of the night, starving us, bleeding us dry, and hoping that we'll finally give in to conscription. We may not be as strong as we were in the days past, but we can still put up a good fight. My only fear is that our next will be our last and our days are numbered. Much as I hate it, It's starting to look like conscripting with the chorus is our only chance of survival. If I joined you in camp, I might be able to offer a more informed opinion. He studies you for a moment long and shrugs. That's fine. If you keep a civil tongue and your weapons to yourselves, you're welcome to accompany me behind the defenses. He pauses and glances over his shoulder, a momentary gleam of hope in his eyes. Come speak to me in private when you have a moment. Your coming here might be useful.
Right.
Another place to plunder. Oh, look at that.
Found something.
A trap. It's a good thing I didn't come here to fight. Our options are limited, or don't you understand that? Matthias stands before an equally impressive warrior. Both appear to be almost near blows, caught in a heated debate. Only limited by your sharp-mindedness. The other warrior turns to you and glares. And now you dare to welcome a fate binder into our midst. Irentis, charmed, I'm sure. He spits at your feet and steps forward, taking a challenging stance against Matthias. Have you already sold out your brethren to Kairos lapdogs? What would you have me do, Irentis? Send our weak and wounded into slaughter again? His outburst echoes off the canyon walls. Should we send our children next? How much of our blood must be spilled before the rebellion is satisfied? Continue listening for now. Irentis takes a step back, breathing heavily. All of it! This is what the leader of our great rebellion would have said, but I'm afraid he must be counted as a casualty in this war like the rest. How many enemies must we collect? Our goal has always been to take back Sentinel's Stand, kill the last regent, and end this blasted edict. Impossible tasks by any standard. Losing his composure, Matthias grabs a handful of windborne rust and hurls it to the ground. This is no time to lose control of yourself, Captain. Your soldiers are listening. He blinks and rises to his full height, letting the grit from the storm trail through his fingers. You're right. It was beneath me. I'm frustrated because I don't know what to do for my people, except use our strength to avenge Stalwart on the regent who betrayed us. The Chorus can give us that strength, and I faltered. You've had this conversation many times with my peers. No, I've had this conversation many times with my peers in the Vendrian Guard, during long nights spent wondering when the armies would arrive in force to end it all. Invariably, the argument would come up, is it better to die with pride, or better to bow before the Chorus, jettisoning our dignity and identity to keep your pulse? We have plenty of sleepless nights spent torturing ourselves with that question. If vengeance is all you seek, then maybe you belong with those bloodthirsty dogs. Don't assume that the rest of us will be joining you, though. Irentis walks off, shaking his head in disappointment. There'll always be those unable to see the truth of the matter, the future ahead of you. My apologies for that. Irentis lost as much as anyone in this war, and his reaction is about what I expected. Surrender is a kick in the teeth, but it may be all we have left. I have led this rebellion since the waning days of the war. But my foes grow more numerous each day. The disfavored, the Chorus, the regents, and now I must ask you, Fatebinder, do you approach this camp as an ally or enemy? You have an ally to the unbroken here, should you need one. I'm only too glad to hear it. A battlefield can seem a friendless place, even in the company of one's countrymen. He grips your arm and smiles. Welcome to the fight to reclaim Stalwart. As soon as the sons and daughters of Stalwart, this struggle is our heritage. I didn't you think you would make it your affair? Enlighten me, Fatebinder. What brings you here? The war has damaged this realm enough. I'm here to help rebuild. He fixes you with a critical frown. The Blade Grave is hardly a place to find roving idealists. but I'm not above accepting a helping hand. Our options here in Tibbet's Junction are slim enough as it is. At least we share a common goal. The Unbroken and I are already hatching a plan to breach Sentinel's stand, and you are welcome to join in the glory of your return. All that stands in our way are the Scarlet forces and the Chorus forces in the area. They're trying to conscript my soldiers, and damned if they're not a persistent bunch. He turns to the fire beside him and nudges it with a log, sending up a cloud of embers. Our real troubles began with the victory at Sentinel's stand. Instead of facing Kairos' forces in the field of battle, the last regent of Stalwart decides to barricade the keep and look after himself. When Kairos proclaimed the edict, it cursed the regent bloodline for their stubbornness. Kairos drafted the Edict of Storms to punish the defenders of Stalwart for hiding behind the walls of their keep. The wording of the edict specifies that the death of Stalwart's ruling family will end the storm. To this day, the locals are welcome and encouraged to assassinate their former ruler. Maybe I shouldn't speak too freely about our troubles. The war, this chase around our homelands, you can probably tell it's taken a significant toll on me. My soldiers and I are half mad from hunger and exhaustion, mad enough to entertain the idea of conscription. His expression withers with distaste. Have you any questions for me? What's to be done about the Stalwart's regions? It's just the one regent now. Matthias frowns and toes the dusty earth. Straight as Harridan is the Lord of Sentinel's Stand, the great fortress at the heart of our realm. As the last member of the regent bloodline, the Edict of Storms will persist until he dies. That can happen willingly or unwillingly. Harridan would have been charitable if he killed himself after the edict hit, a hero to the realm in truth, but instead he's chosen the coward's path. Cruel as it may seem to end his life to end the edict, the storm has claimed more lives by far. The Unbroken will do anything to see it finished. He releases his heavy sigh, even conscript with the Scarlet Chorus, it seems. How do the Unbroken plan on breaching the keep walls? Assuming we give the chance to cross the wind wall around Sentinel's Stand, we'll simply blast the walls to rubble. He frowns. It's not actually that simple at all. Our alchemists have spent the last several months experimenting with powders and oils that can loosen stone or weaken fortifications. They came up with something far more dangerous. A powder that explodes on contact. The stuff is too chancy to carry into battle, but too good to pass up as siege breaker. Glare silently. You call the last battle at Sentinel's Stand a victory? It's true, no one was cheering when the Edict of Storm hit us and destroyed most of our fighting force. But that didn't end the battle, just stretched into an uneasy stalemate with a disfavored, which continues to this day. The defenders at Sentinel's Stand had imprisoned his favorite legion. Albeit that Graven Ash would have pulled his troops back if we threatened to push some of the captives over the rampart walls. He shrugs. A pity we never got the chance. A despicable notion, if I ever heard one. Fate bind I have no wish to speak with this broken man further. He has information we need, another moment. If you must, though I would just dispense with the talk and beat it out of him instead. You will fight this war however you choose. I thought stalwart fighters never surrendered. Traditionally speaking, we don't. We haven't lost a battle on our home soil yet, and there's a lot of cultural pride wrapped up in that idea. But these days, the long battle of Kairos' forces drags beyond our ability to endure. Stalwart was mighty in its days, but the relentless tide of enemies will be our undoing. Here we see stalwart arrogance at its finest. The disfavored obliterated the Unbroken on the field, but we are unable to take Sentinel's Stand keep. And the Unbroken claim this isn't losing somehow. Despite the Edict of Storms burying what little shreds of hope remained, their belief in their invincibility seems congenital. They will likely exhaust their dying breaths, insisting they never lost. Let's glare at him silently. He takes a cautious step back. Joining the Scarlet Chorus isn't my favorite option either, but try and understand my position. He tries to meet your relentless gaze, but turns away in fright. I don't exactly have my pick of good choices. Maybe it's better for us to survive alongside those barbarians than die here like dogs. He releases a heavy sigh. Even if we're conscripted into Kairos' army, we could treat it as an opportunity to strike back if it is favored. I don't blame my renters for his stubbornness, though. The Scarlet Chorus haven't exactly made the kindest of offers, and I'm not convinced myself. Maybe a sign of their good intentions could help sway our opinions. If we knew with certainty that they wanted to take us alive, my men and women would be more inclined to surrender. A sign of their intention? What of yours? The chorus needs to know that you're totally committed. He pauses, suddenly introspective, as if the idea should have been there all along. You're right, of course. Since we keep resisting them, the chorus will be well within their rights to take us as prisoners or combatants, which will only make the transition harder. He looks to you with full eyes of hope. What would be required? An oath of fealty. Is that all? I suppose a servant of a court like yourself places value on words, don't you? He takes a deep breath. I renounce all present or past loyalties, and offer my devotion, service, and life to the voices of Nerat, Archon of Secrets. I am his vessel, and all things to be used or disposed of as he pleases. He sighs. I hope that's enough to convince your friends that I'm with a cause. You should know somehow that something's going into this, though. My soldiers won't be convinced unless the chorus offers something in return. A fair number of us were captured in our last scuffle. The chorus were to release those prisoners as a gesture of good faith. My unbroken ear would be more amenable to the idea of conscription. Admitting it out loud brings some color to Matthias's cheek. I'll see what I can do. If you manage to make any ground, then you'll know where to find me. He tries to appear optimistic, but his enthusiasm wanes. I think any small gesture will make me more inclined to trust the Scarlet Chorus, but I have doubts where my countrymen are concerned. He shakes his head. This war will only get worse before it gets any better. He's not wrong, though I wonder, can it even get any worse, considering the state it's already in? You've already killed your country and your countrymen. The unbroken soldier folds his arms in a tight knot as he approaches. I renters, formerly the prisoner guard of Regent Haptia. This before the war made short work of her, now run with Matthias and what remains of the true patriots. I don't need a reason to kill you, servant of Kairos. I stay my sword until Matthias gives the order. He tips his hat to the soldiers around camp. If you intend to conscript us into the Scarlet Chorus, I can assure you that these men and women are ready to die. You're not seeing the bigger picture. Joining the Scarlet Chorus is your only chance at survival. He waves you off with disgust. Survival at what cost? You don't understand. Have a clue what it means to live outside of Kairos' authority, so I wouldn't expect you to understand. Well, you're more than our masters, and whatever arbitrary system of law they impose. We have more to lose, but we will risk everything to protect it. I'm sorry that you don't see it that way. I doubt it. Didn't seem sorry then, don't seem sorry now. Yo, bastard. What are you still doing? Have I not explained what I expect of you? Get going! The unbroken leader might be swayed if we release some of your prisoners. And give up my prizes! Those are the best of the lot, among the finest specimens I've taken of late. I won't dare part ways of them. For once I don't keep, for my studies are going to the voices of Nerat. He taps his chin to consider. The chances are fair that we'll just conscript them anyway once our intentions are clear to the rest of the group. But I don't want to risk any of these prisoners slipping through my fingers. Matthias or one of his intrepid officers could dispatch them away to seek help. Matthias has pledged his fealty to the chorus already. He promises that the rest will follow. And you were so taken in that you believed his fabrication? Even now he could be plotting against us, fool. I don't accept offers of fealty unless the prisoner's lying prone and at the tip of my spear. What did this Matthias deign to offer you? He pledged an oath to the voices of Nerat. Anyone can say a few choice words and lie through their teeth. But the voices of Nerat does appreciate little attention to his ego, even if it comes from afar. It's an ear for such things. At least as many ears as he has eyes. Jagged Remedy frowns. He sighs and makes a dismissive wave. It sounds as if you have sufficiently earned the young captain's trust.
The guarantees that the soldiers will fall in line for the struggle, we can entertain this token gesture of theirs. What would please you the most, Fatebinder? Release the unbroken prisoners. An act of goodwill should set the appropriate tone. As a diplomat, I prefer to keep my engagements with others simpler, letting knights and leeches do the talking for me. To each their own, I suppose. He turns to his fighters and nods. Consider it done. Go treat the young captain, make sure his soldiers are ready for what comes next. He remained a fool, then. If you had done this any earlier, we might have been through this already. But I suppose your blindness is to your credit. No, camping supplies I don't need. Oh,
Well, this is interesting.
Ooh, what's this? Ah, chili. My brethren have returned to us. I don't know how you did it, but you managed to reason with the Scarlet Chorus. Or should I say the chorus is more reasonable than I thought? He frowns at the notion. He takes a deep breath. So be it. If the Scarlet Chorus are willing to show this much good faith, we will turn ourselves over to their mercy. We couldn't take Sentinel's stand as unbroken, but there's still a chance to liberate Stalwart from the oppression of the Regent and this edict. Oh, Irentis. Irentis strides in wearing a despondent frown. The chorus spared our soldiers. The Fatebinder ensured that we will keep their word. The doom that visited these canyons may soon subside. Come and share in this small victory, Irentis. You've impressed that a gang of liars spared a handful of us so they could lull the rest of our fighting strength with false promises? When your future gang boss is branding you with a sigil or cutting your face for speaking out of turn, I hope you remember this blind optimism. Your confidence in the Scarlet Chorus disgusts me, Matthias. I pay you one fair turn, and you buy into the wars an eager conscript. I can't tell if you're desperate or just a liar. Matthias made a decision to save his soldiers from certain death. An impossible choice for anyone, even under these circumstances. No, but I would have done it myself. Burying our traditions and freedom is no better than burying the dead, Matthias. I renounce you as my commander. He turns to the soldiers. Stand with me if you wish to fight as children of Stalwart, and fighting those who would take our land and bury our customs. Fatebinder, you've divided our coalition with empty promises. If not by my authority, then by my right as the son of the Unbroken, you will not leave Trippers Junction alive. Irentis, this will be the end of us. You take up arms against the only allies within reach, the only ones who can bring down with his favor, and... His speech slows down to silence, as soldiers square around Irentis. Many of the Unbroken follow Irentis' example and stare you down, drawing their weapons one by one. Matthias' followers anxiously take defensive postures, all the while Irentis crosses his arms and regards you with a smug grin. You wanted this from the beginning, Irentis. Don't hide behind your delusions of patriotism. I saw the weakness in our captain and gave him ample opportunities to correct his behavior. He failed me. Your intervention brought his failings to light, so I suppose I owe you thanks. Sons and daughters of Stalwart, take these would-be saviors down who would sell you out for petty vengeance. Let us restore this country on our terms. He signals to attack. You're a fool, boy.
More bodies to pile in our wake!
Let's have it. I will...
I mean, you do realize I won't die from this.
On it.
Rifles on men. Useless.
Give me that one.
My blood spills.
I wonder this was a good officer. Damn his eyes. We served together for a long time. It's too bad he got caught up in the country's old sense of honor and lost sight of what's important. Survival. He would have served for Korra's better life. It's a pity. I'll go with you to tell the gang boss who's been hounding us that we're willing to join now. He swallows. In spite of everything, I hope we don't lose ourselves in their ranks. I hope. Stalwart. He trails off, fighting his tears. These notes are hastily scribbled and show a tenuous grip on literacy. They describe with a lengthless conscription efforts of a Scarlet Chorus gang as they chase the Unbroken across the Blade Grave. The notes include many references to Dauntless, a relic sword of the Unbroken, and many ill-fated attempts to find the blade. There are some crude drawings that resemble a map of a Blade Grave, with a sword drawn on the eastern section of the old walls. Infested old walls. Well, what do you know? Looks like I'll be getting a new sword next. But first, Sentinel Stand. There's another edict we need to end. Oh, don't worry, I'm going to storm this keep. Nice job! You managed to get a good number of them to join, and less of them died than if we went with our usual methods. The voices of Nerat clued me into your mission. With Matthias absorbed into the ranks, our final prize is Amelia, wayward daughter of Graven Ash. A low growl sounds from somewhere in Barrack Summer. You keep your hands off the Arkan's daughter, wretched thing. Sentinel Stand is the seat of the old stalwart regent, rule and power of the realm. Amelia hasn't been seen since the second year of the conquest. She's alive and in Stalwart. I'll wager she's there. Since Matthias knows the region, I'll ever meet you there to go over your next move. He grins. I'll send him with a chorus escort so he gets properly welcomed into the ranks and get my meaning. I'll cooperate under one condition. I want to get inside Sentinel's Stand and kill the last regent. His downcast gaze lifts with a modicum of hope. We fought for vengeance against Stratus Herodin and the end of his edict. Even if I no longer raise my sword under an unbroken banner, I would see our work done before I succumb to the chorus. That's acceptable. You have a deal. It isn't your decision to make. The voices of Narad wants the Edict of Storms to remain and plague Graven Ash. For the time being, we've no cause to kill Stratus Herodin. However, I can think of many reasons why we should take control of Sentinel Stand, not least of which is to secure Ash's wayward cup, Amelia. He sighs. Matthias, your wish is granted, but only if you cooperate and do as we say. Then it's settled. Once we breach Sentinel Stand and oust the old regent from power, I'll submit to the voices of Nerat. Meet me at the wind wall outside Sentinel Stand. It's important that you see what we're up against before we decide the next step. Do I have to? Can't I just go in and kill everyone? It's not that difficult, really. We'll see, I'll show you. Infested pool. Oh, there's the spire. Can't go there yet. Sentinel Stand. In darkness, this looks even worse. I mean, look at this. The broken walls.
I see that Kairos' wrath still tears at the great fortress of Sentinel Stand.
This is absurd. Nothing here remains.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
The moat has once encircled Sentinel's stand, has long since succumbed to the harsh environment. Standing water and patches of moist dirt are all that remains.
Curious.
Sentinel's Stand Keep was once a proud, imposing structure. Now it stands as a mere shadow of its former glory.
Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I can't.
Ah, damn it. Way's blocked. This is all part of the outer citadel wall. This is what we're up against. And this is why the Unbroken couldn't take back Stalwart. He shakes his head at the wind wall and sighs. Among other reasons. I conscripted him for Jagged Remedy's gang for a chance of making food to Sentinel Stand. But so far all I've gotten are some fresh bruises and a shitty nickname. These winds are extraordinary. That they are. And just beyond them, straight as Harridan, last region, sits in the comfort of Sentinel Stand. Matthias spits into the whipping wind. During the war, we kept the fortress provisioned to outlast any siege, so it's safe to assume that Harridan won't starve to death. We'll have to find another way to make it through these winds. Nothing has changed. This is the very storm that shattered the Unbroken and disfavored alike. Thank you for bringing me here, Fatebinder. Beric regards the wind wall and the massive tornado around the inner keep, which is but a distant outline. Straight as Harridan, the lost Stalwart Regent cowers behind the walls of his castle, and we won't be able to reach him through the storm. This place brings back unpleasant memories. I'm only interested in one thing, how we get inside. Couldn't say. The powers fighting over this realm must have some notion, otherwise they wouldn't squabble for control over this blasted wasteland. We should track down someone with answers. Stay vigilant, Fatebinder. Do you hear that? A voice, almost. Perhaps a song. You catch an odd sound in the wind. A low moan hidden within a cacophony of swirling dirt and metal debris. The clouds of dust seem so close to you. Within them you see patches of glowing red. Scourges. Banes. The dead demand their due.
That's a negative.
Oh my. Yeah.
On it. I got it.
Well, that was more gruesome than I was expecting.
The bane are gone, the unnatural cries silenced, leaving only the tornado's violence in your ears. As the dust clouds recede, you spot a crouched figure on the wall above.
I see a figure atop those walls. Tread with caution.
An unbroken scout. A soldier kneels behind the ruined parapets. You can tell by his raiment, old stalwart gear, that he's an unbroken soldier. He peers at you with a mixture of caution and curiosity. You handle the whaling well enough, but what brings you to this forsaken place? He pauses as recognition dawns in his eyes. Matthias! I thought you were out in the field with... He stops himself and frowns, regarding the former unbroken captain with closer scrutiny. I didn't expect you find you in the company of a Fatebinder. I'm running with a Scarlet Chorus now. He turns to you with fear in his eyes, then quickly refocuses back on the scout. We're in an impossible situation. I had to choose between dying for my pride or looking after the lives of our people. I can't pretend to approve of your decision, Matthias. Had I served in your unit, it would have taken a
Different direction. He frowns with pity. The Unbroken will endure with or without you. I can only hope you find some measure of peace in the army of Kairos. Just try not to cross me on the battlefield. The scout turns to you. Did you parade your new recruit all the way here to mock us, or do you have business in Sentinel Stand? I'm looking for Graven Ash's daughter, Amelia. Rumor has it that she's inside. Why I'm here is none of your concern. No? You think I've overstepped my authority here? Let me show you what I think. What I make of that. He flashes a crude gesture with both hands and shakes his head at you. Well, you won't be making it to Sentinel Stand anytime soon. The only people to see the inside of a keep since 4:30 are the last regent, his personal guard, and a few disfavored prisoners. Not that you should care about the last regent over much. The edict is making the war an impossible challenge for Graven Ash and his legion of ironclads. I'm sure that just thinking about it makes the voice of Narad giddy. How can I get inside Sentinel Stand? I'm not stupid enough to give up your plans to some Chorus rats, even if the lives of anyone in Sentinel Stands mean less to me than the piss I took this morning. He looks to Matthias again, shaking his head slowly. Farewell, old friend. Here's to hoping our next leader can remember where he came from when the road takes a sharp bend. Tipping his head, the scout steps back and vanishes over the parapet into the obscurity of the storms. Damn him! I wish his words didn't sting, but he's a good patriot and I can't vote his bias. Matthias sighs. In my heart I know I made this choice to get back at the disfavored and the regent, but it's not easy to face the censor of my countrymen. Now that you know what we're up against, thankfully, I have a lead on getting us through the wind wall. An unbroken lieutenant by the name of Ilya stationed at Rust Canyons. Before Jack Remedy got me in his clutches, I dispatched Ilya along with my best soldiers to hunt for regent heirlooms lost during the war. Ilya's and her unbroken scavengers should have unyielded something of value by now. Maybe even something we can use to push our way through the storms. We won't know for sure unless you check in on our progress. I'll head to Rust Canyons and contact her then. I'll send word to Ilya so she knows to expect you. Please give her my regards. Don't. He frowns. I wouldn't want her to see me this way. He looks out into a bleak horizon. I suppose it's high time that I reported back to Jack Remedy. Initiation rites are only half done, so you'll no doubt have some other degrading feat for me to accomplish. He shakes his head and sighs. The things I do for Stalwart.
On it.
The wind whips whirlingly past, throwing bits of rock and metal past you along with the dust. Time to leave. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Running around with this head. No, no, no. We'll continue our journey in a few seconds. I'll be back in a minute. And we're back. Our travels now take us to Rust Canyon.
Bronze scrap is all that's left of the Unbroken caught in the storm. Where you see iron, disfavored that died with them.
Wedged into these rocks are the iron trappings of soldiers killed by Kairos' edict. Magical winds sheared away all flesh, leaving behind only rusting armor and weaponry. Man. Sorry, guys. An unbroken soldier struggles to rise to his feet. One arrow lodged in his shoulder, the other in his thigh. He attempts to stand, but his muscles are too weak for a task. Watch this unfold. The soldier lacks the strength, but none of the conviction as he fights to move in spite of his wounds. He's powerless to scramble away as a disfavored officer approaches from the west. The disfavored soldier calmly approaches from the west. He regards the vulnerable southerner with a cold lip and a disapproving shake of his head. Weak and broken. Prisoner, make for poor sport. Your escape was spirited, but damn foolish. Sorry, App. We observe with detached interest. In one swift motion, he plunges his sword into the man's heart, pinning the fallen soldier to the rusted earth. With his favorite soldier turns to the unbroken camp, frustration evident in his tone, when his gaze shifts over to you and back to the walls. Elia, looks like all of your pointless digging has drawn the chorus. How much longer do you think those walls can stand while all of Kairos' forces rally against them? Interesting. You see a woman stride purposefully into view atop a platform along the wall's edge. She lifts a spear and holds it at Theodore, cursing under her breath, and it breaks against the rocks. I am so fucking tired of listening to you. Go shriek at someone else's fortress for a change, and stop trying to impress me by hunting down unarmed prisoners. Maybe the ladies of the north get chivalry over your bravado, but all it tells me is that your codpiece is emptier than your skull. She takes note of you with a raised brow. I don't believe we've been introduced. Her expression sours. I raise these walls to keep idiots downwind. You're no friend of Theodore's, but I don't know what you are to me. It's your problem now, Elia. I'll be back to claim that garbage heap you call it for. Theodore aims you a hard glare and slips back into the obscurity of the winds. Hey! Oh, it remained. Okay. More plunder, more plunder.
Oh, nothing says welcome like dead bodies rotting outside your front gate.
Oh, that isn't wrong. The unbroken captain looks down from the elevated platform, resting a heavy boot on top of an axe head buried in the wooden slats. She grips its handle as he approaches. What do we have here? I received word from Matthias that told me to expect you. He says we're to work with the chorus to avenge ourselves on the disfavored in the region. Normally I wouldn't trust a red bird, but I know our captain's handwriting. She frowns. Old Singh sounds like a wagon load of beast shit to me, but I don't have time to send him my thoughts with a disfavored breathing down my neck. I'm willing to hear you out, and if I like what I hear then I'll keep listening, but I can't promise anything more. I have enough capable soldiers to make a disfavored attack against this costly Toviakan of inbred dimwits, but that doesn't make our situation any less desperate. The disfavored are my enemy. I seek Graven Ash, daughter in Sentinel Stand. You've come all this way out here for the sake of one prisoner? I can't decide if it's impressive or a total waste of resources. Maybe both. I suppose the Voices of Narad has its reason for seeking the daughter of the enemy. Not that I want to know any of them. Matthias sent us to Rust Canyon searching for artifacts carried by the Stormwood regions. We find what we're looking for. Could mean unlocking Sentinel's Stand. Help us bury this disfavored, and I'll tell you what I know. What must be done? For now, I'll be pleased if we can hold this fort against the disfavored. The fight will come to us who will prepare for it or no. My scouts have reported disfavored forces closing in, so it would be in your best interest to arm yourselves for battle. You could always use an edge on the battlefield. She studies you and nods. Some of our men are captive to be disfavored outside of camp. Deal with Kairos and soldiers and rescue ours, and will give us a few more warm bodies to hurl at our enemies. The sooner Theodore joins his countrymen as a corpse, the sooner I get to leave this garbage heap. Anything down here?
Think I found something.
Fatebinder, there are prisoners in that pit over there.
The smell of men soaking their own waste rises up from the spear-lined pit.
Have a look here.
The lieutenant holds up his sword and squints through the obscurity of the high winds. Who goes there? Oh, you Fatebinder. I wish you didn't have to witness a quick exchange before. Elia and the Lord have caused me no leg of trouble. He frowns and tightens his grip on his sword. Normally I would welcome a servant of a court, but Ash told me to keep an eye out for traitors stepping on our territory. Stand down, Commander. I don't always agree with the Fatebinder's methods, but I believe we can get this war back under control. We have this opportunity to help each other and set the right example. Barrick! Pains me to see you marching in this one's shadow. Ash told me to extend this invitation if you happen by. Come back to the fold. He says that nothing is beyond forgiveness to a true son of the North. Would that I could return to Ash's embrace, Theodore. I'm bound to this one service until dismissed. Pull your man from the region before the Fatebinder numbers you among the dead. So be it. Even in these blighted lands where no spade can crack the parched earth, I will give you the funeral rites you deserve and return your armor to the storm. I'm sorry that it came to this. As for you, Fatebinder, he grimaces. I don't know if you're here to plunder heirlooms of Stormwood or conscript into your sordid gang, but you've come on a fool's errand. These men are my best. I'm more than capable of dealing with Tunon's errand boy. Upon my authority as a Fatebinder, I hereby claim Rust Canyons in the name of Tunon. Submit or die. He stares at you for a moment, waiting to tell if you're done, and then clears his throat to rattle the dust free. Now I don't fancy myself a legal clerk, but that still sounds like beast shit. In spite of his words, his creased brow reflects some doubt. If we were standing before the adjudicator, I'm sure you could find some dumb precedent that supports a move like that. Better that we feed your bones to the storm before you give a chance. He calmly motions for the soldiers to charge, smiling all the while.
It's a battle!
For the glory of Kairos! The prisoners within are dressed in unbroken clothes. I'll do it for the North.
Right. Take that!
Wonder, they're all dead. Who would have known? From within the cage, a beaten and weary figure whispers to you. Are we free to go? We've been released. Return to your comrades. At last! One of them sighs as the prisoner crowd their exit. I thought we're sure we'd be shipped up to Colonel Mountains. Another says as he flies out of cage. As the prisoners turn to leave, the last one grabs your hand and says, Thank you, stranger. Were it not for you, I shudder to think what they would have done to us. I don't. In fact, I'm reasonably sure I can tell you what they do to you. I don't think you want to know, but no one really ever does. Thank you, Fatebinder. Your deeds may just turn the tide. She scans the distant canyon as the sound of an approaching force grows in volume. They're coming! Get inside! We'll open the gate for you! But I don't want to.
Can't do that.
Aww. I don't want to.
Will do.
Good timing. Our lookout reported that the disfavored are making for his encampment. Never thought I'd see myself fight so hard to defend a garbage pharaoh and the Kairos be damn dirt. Let's ready ourselves for battle then. Alright.
I am a shield wall unto myself.
Telemar sundered, slashing.
On it.
And dead. Enemies at the west gate! Really, you're screaming because of freedom?
This
Will do.
Will do.
Just like that, it's over. Oh no, wait, there's one still remaining. Oh,
I got it.
Walker.
Will do.
Dude is dead.
Graven Ash protects.
I have my doubts. I wonder are there any more? You already know this situation. Oh, nice.
Can't do that.
Scavengers have used the environment to help build their camp. Classy.
Trouble is afoot.
How did they get behind us?
I will aid you.
Will do. I got it.
Pay attention, kids. You might learn something.
Sorry, I can't.
Leon nods at you. The party has received glory. Interesting. With his showing the hint of an appreciative smile. Less than I anticipated. Seems their full force is yet to arrive. Their eyes dart about the fallen enemies, searching for a familiar face. No commanders here. Damn. A few distant horn blasts pierce the wind from the south. That's probably the rest. We can expect far more than the initial assault. Troubling. If the disfavored was sent on assault for the commander, the move had to be stalling tactic. We won't survive a day if we stay here. Our walls have been compromised and the winds go stronger still. She points north, past the twisted remains of the gate. That's our only route. Theodore sent men to hold the northern junkyard. We have a chance with them, but only if we act now. Help me one more time, and I'll tell you what I know about getting inside Sunil's stand. You must be careful. We've trapped the terrain north of the camp. Step lightly and run to the northwest plateau. If we defeat the soldiers stationed there, we'll have a clear escape route. Very well, I'll go now. One more thing, Fatebinder. Not all of my men made it behind the walls of the initial attack. My hope is that they are hiding in the northern canyons and still well enough to travel. If you find any of my crew, give them a chance to escape while there's still time. I'll decide about that with each moment. Clear a path for the unbroken. Run, 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 run.
Your days end here!
Heads up, we have company.
out. The soldiers, worried from lack of nourishment, scrambled at your weapons and snapped to the attention as the apparent leader steps forward to address you. I don't recognize you. Are you with the Unbroken? Yes, we helped Alea defend the camp. There's still time to escape. That's a relief, he says, dropping his guard. We thought you were here to kill us. Our hope is to escape the canyon. I will scout the area and let you know if the patrols are still lurking about.
Can't do that. See that?
Send them out!
Interesting.
There are few things I love as much as the feeling of superiority I can't from just slaughtering all of them. Ah, gotta love RPGs.
I got it.
The equipment of both disfavored and unbroken soldiers are embedded in these jagged rocks. The destruction of Kairos' edict did not distinguish between friend and foe. Well, of course not. Such power, such raw power especially, shouldn't. After all, it would be even worse. Just imagine the strategic advantage. Fight, Binder! Jacomus advances with murderous intensity in his gaze. All our soldiers in this attack! Good north for men who won't see their homes again! So send their eyes to the north, what do I care? He grimaces. You have no respect for our values, our mission, or our lives. Tunon was wrong to give even a scrap of power. Raven Ash will never forget this. His anger is something only an Arkan would comprehend. I hope for your sake we have the decency to die here. He delivers a signal to the rest of his cohort. Attack the Fate Binder!
More tallies to the body count.
No, this is going to be interesting.
I will aid you. Graven Ash protects.
On it.
Could it be him dead? Already? What a pity. What was that?
Pay attention, kids. You might learn something.
And that's it. The valley is clear. The battle is over. The clash of iron and bronze fills the air for a few moments longer until Alea finishes dispatching her disfavored soldier. She beams at you with pride, but quickly she vanishes. I owe you my thanks, though I suspect it's the last thing you want. I'll share what you want to know as promised. You were looking for an artifact, right? Aye, and we've been searching for some time. You tried finding anything useful in this garbage heap? Matthias sent us hunting for the remains of Regent Espison. Before the war, he was known for carrying an artifact called the Steadfast Insignia. What is the Steadfast Insignia? It's a symbol of stalwart determination in battle. But before the war, Regent Espison wore it pinned his cloak, and his soldiers grew more daring on the battlefield when they saw him enter the fray. They say it can marshal forces to stand tall against any threat, and it gives them the strength to march with purpose without taking harm. When you think about it, I'll bet the insignia could let an army stand against Kairos' wind wall. Could even stride in a similar stand like you were enjoying clear skies. Do you know anything about Ash's daughter, Emilia? I heard tell that she was captured in the second year of the war. unit under the command of Stratus Horadin took Emilia's cohort by surprise. Emilia ended up at Sentinel's stand. What did you learn about the Regent? We were looking for the Regent's body. Instead, we found records of his past movements. Just after the edict hit, he was on his way to what we now know as a breach in the old walls. Couldn't say what he thought he would find there, except its wild dwellers and an early death. If he planned on unleashing the bane on the disfavored, might have told him he was as dumb as Ash Sama. We sent a small team, led by one of our best, Gregors, to investigate the breach. It's said to be a cursed place, and crawling with bane. Likely as not, the steadfast insignia is there. Gregors travels with a small contingent of sages, who better to bring on an expedition into the old walls and some dusty librarian.
Dusty? It's ridiculous. We sages spent far too much time running for our lives to collect dust.
So, where do you go from here? Away from Rust Canyons. I received word that I was still disfavored in the area, but it sounds like the Legion's in full retreat. I doubt they're in any hurry to feed more bodies to the storm. It's still strange to me that the Unbroken serve the interests of the Scarlet Chorus, but I suppose many things are strange in times of war. With Matthias conscripted into some gang, the Unbroken will have to continue without him. Shame to lose a good captain. Thank you again for everything. I know there's still much to be done at the Old World's breach and elsewhere. If you have any question, my time is yours. How do I get to the local spire? There's no direct road, but the breach in the old walls is said to lead to the ocean spire's floor. If you're dead set on making the journey, you'll come across worse foes than the Unbroken. Farewell.
You learn something every day.
You do. You do. We need to be quicker. Stronger. Faster. No. No. Nah. Improved thunder it is then.
Yes.
Let's see. I should be able to leave this place through here. Right after I try out my new shield. Why is every shield worse than the one before? Doesn't make any sense. Again, few things do. This one resolve. Don't have any time to do about that right now. Glory, one-handed. Well, it is actually kind of useful. It's kind of sad because I think I upgraded this weapon. Oh well, oh well.
I got it.
We leave to the old walls breach. And I'd say we are now entering 3.5 hours. I think for our bonus stream that'll be it for tonight.
I thank everyone for watching so far, and I'm sure that on our regular stream tomorrow we'll be finally able to finish this act and the second, third, and the Edict of Storms, and gain our third spire. Now, if you'll excuse me, this is it from me, Richard Erman. We are Victory Assured, and you've been watching Let's Play Tyranny. Good night.